as far as here, yeah, I can watch.
Just, we'll be right back. Whenever we need it. Ready, guys? Not really? Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Mic check, mic check.
Hogan,
Mic check.
Gary, you got a big mouth. So slide that over to the coach. Got it? You gonna put it right there?
Yeah, you can.
No, I'm talking about the comments.
Oh yeah, comments. I'll put one.
All right, ready? Well, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Week 6 edition of high school football here in the state of Louisiana. This is Under the Lights. We are live from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts Building here in Opelousas, Louisiana, right on side of the Pete Kings. Boy, do we have a big show in store tonight. We got a lot to talk about, a jam-packed episode of Under the Lights. I can't wait to talk some high school football with you. We got headlines. We got playoff talk to talk about. Where will some of these teams ranked? We also got stat leaders in the state of Louisiana, game picks to get to, and a couple things I would like to discuss and clear up for some of the people out there watching. So before we go any further with Week 6, I'm going to go ahead and let my panel introduce themselves at this time. Holton?
What's up, y'all? I'm holding.
What's up, y'all? I'm Gary.
How we doing? Coach Dartez, Bolton High School.
Special guest picker tonight will be Coach James Dartez from Bolton High School. Coach, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I can't thank you enough. It's a great honor to sit and talk football with you tonight.
Well, man, I really appreciate you guys sending out the invitation, man. You guys came and showed a lot of love to our guys at the beginning of the year. So when you guys called and said that you'd like to have me on the show, man, it was a no-brainer, man. So I appreciate you guys for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do not have all the glitz and glamour tonight, all the special stuff popping up on the screen. We're running a little late tonight because we had service issues, which we will clear up for next week. So keep that in mind. If you want to know where we're going this week, Thursday Night Football right here front and center. Basile versus Hamilton Christian. Coach, if you can give me some stickers to make this Hamilton Christian helmet pop a little bit more, that'd be great.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We have prime time. We got marquee matchups sitting on the table this week.
Right.
So all these coaches that shown love and allowed us to use their helmets, we get to put them on the table. We get to allow them to be front and center whenever they have these matchups. You look down there, you got OC and Westminster kicking off district play this week.
Right.
You got St. Louis and Westlake also district matchup there. Basile Hamilton Christian district matchup. Oakdale Avoyos, really excited for that matchup this week. And you got St. Ed's hosting North Central for homecoming. And we got a couple others up here, but we don't have helmets to match everybody. So It would be nice to one day have every matchup sitting behind us.
That
but
would
that
be
never
great.
probably happened, right, Mr. Swallow?
Well, we can always pray and hope, we want to see it, but only time will tell.
Correct. Mr. McCoy lives 2 hours away, Mr. Hayes. So this is what we're going to have and what we're going to go with.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. So I can't do my sponsors tonight, but I could talk about them. So I want to say thank you so much to this big guy right here saying with his sponsorship allowing us to do the football show here at your studio.
Oh man, I'm so happy to have the ability to do that, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Yes.
Yes.
3. Well, give him a call and ask him why he's not here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll leave it at that. So given that, want to say thank you to Brothers Just Searching, the Paint Guys, Whips Prince, Daryl's Po' Boys, the Crawfish House, and Mr. Kip Duplichin for their time, and also Tiger Tails, all those sponsors for tonight. Can't get them on the screen, but I promise you I will make it up to you for sure. All right, looking at week 5 in the rearview mirror, let's talk about week 5 for a second. Initial thoughts of week 5 across the board.
Great, Coach.
Week 5 was a great week of football, especially down at Bolton. We got a good home win, but they had a lot of good football going on across the state of Louisiana, man. And again, that just lets you know how talent-rich this state really is.
Right.
Great ball players, great programs, great coaches across the board, man. It was an exciting week of high school football. Can't wait to see what week 6 has in store for us.
All right.
Gary?
I agree, Coach. I'm going to tell you, I'm just so excited to see some of these matchups, these marquee matchups that are happening now. And going forward, you're going to have marquee matchups in your non-district to get power points and make the playoffs.
Right.
So I'm excited that we have actually schools starting that now. So I'm pumped.
So the question was there, Jake knows most about high school football in the state and loves it the most. I would put myself up in that category any day of the week. So keep that same energy. Holden?
I agree with Gary.
So like you said, it comes down to the final few weeks. District play has started to heat up. The race for a district title has begun. Coach, this is your first week of district play, right?
Yes, sir.
Coach, they got teams that are heading into their 3rd week of district play.
All right.
Yes.
So you look at this, and it's like everything is all fresh and new to a lot of teams out here. This is brand new districts for a lot of teams out there because of the fact that districts got realigned last year.
Right.
Correct.
So you look at teams facing new teams this year. It's just exciting for the sport to see big-time games here in district.
Totally agree.
Pin that to a shirt.
Totally agree. We're in a new district ourselves, so you get a chance to see new rivalries form, get to see a different level of competition that you're usually accustomed to. So again, it's great high school football. You get to see these natural rivalries form against, especially with us going from 4A to 3A. So it's a totally different landscape. So again, you get to see some of these great programs and this great rich tradition.
Right.
So you look at it. We talked about week 5. We put it in our rear view. A lot of homecomings are happening. Coach, homecoming last week, correct?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So what happened 2 weeks ago for Bolton for homecoming?
The execution. We lacked on that, and that goes on me. We was always one step away. We get a big gain, we get a penalty. We get positive yardage, we get a turnover. We didn't have that continuity as far as the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, we played a darn good football game. Time of possession was about even, but we lost the turnover battle, we lost the explosive play battle. And that right there is a recipe to lose a football game. But the last week was a great week of practice, and we came out, we kind of, as they say, atoned for our sins the next week.
Okay.
Well, that's good, man.
Heading into week 6, guys, what do you want to see the most?
Consistency.
Oh, right. I just want to see, as far as these big games coming in, man, when we talk about that as we pick them, they got some big games coming in here, man, and I'm just excited to see that. Week after week, we have another wow game, another bunch of wow games, and I'm just excited for that. Just exciting to see the challenges, go across. It's cool.
I want to give a shout out to Mr. Kyle Broussard. One of his kids play for Kinder High School. Mr. Kyle reached out to us earlier last week and said, man, I love what y'all do. Me and my wife want to show our appreciation. Can I buy y'all shirts?
I don't have mine
Mr.
on it.
Kyle?
I apologize.
Met with Mr. Kyle yesterday, dropped off some shirts to us. Thank you so much for the love and appreciation. It's fans like you that make us come back week in and week out. It's just showing a little appreciation because of what we've done for the program, showing off his kid, showing off that team, and moving forward. It's just fans out there of what we do, and I can't thank them enough for being great supporters.
Right, beautiful. Jordy's wearing one. I apologize for not having mine on, but I just got out of class with my martial arts school But thank you so much for all y'all do for us, guys.
For
I
sure.
appreciate that.
Mr. Kyle plays some softball down there. I think he was with Wheeler Pipe. Wheeler Pipe, so Holden knows all about them days when the pipe was rolling around. Don't screen record that one.
Don't do it.
I think Kyle's about to retire like me and you are.
Yeah, retirement sets in, but
Softball ain't what it used to be.
got a big one this weekend though,
Yeah, you're gonna have some fun with that.
for sure. How about headlines heading into
One of these.
last week? So, Coach, you got any headlines that you would like to share before I get to mine? Gary, you got any headlines? And Holden, you got any headlines?
For me, it would have to be my headline would be Mr. Jalen Welsh.
Don't worry, I got it marked down right here.
Oh, you already got him?
You got something else for me? Something that happened up north that we don't know about?
Nothing comes to mind besides a young man at Mangum High School that's running
we got
completely wild. But besides that, it's been business as usual.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, back-to-back weeks, we have an OHS alum sitting at the table. How about class of 05 right here, Mr. James Dortez?
Yes,
what
sir.
that team is doing this year, I'm sure that makes you happy inside.
Yes, sir, definitely. Being born and raised in Opelousas, Louisiana, and graduate of Opelousas High School, man, it does my heart well to see that Coach Zachary has turned that program around. He came in with a plan and he's executed it gracefully. So that's big to see that, the city deserves a winner. So it's great to see that.
Ladies and gentlemen, any more headlines for the people watching?
No, I mean, I really. No.
You got pretty much what you got. What we got.
All right, at any point that y'all would like to jump in and talk about these subjects, we can talk about it, okay?
That's fine.
Coach, that's good?
Yes, sir.
All right, I got a lot of them, so just sit back and enjoy the wiles that Mr. Gary's about to give out.
Yep.
Because
We'll give a few of 'em.
Gary don't know about half the stuff we talk about on Wednesday nights until that night happens.
Yeah. So I get excited.
It's the best way to do it.
All right, they got some really good running backs up north. Everybody knows about Trey Holly,
Most definitely.
but
yes.
and everybody knows about Mangum now.
Mhm.
Does anybody know about what Cordell Sermons from Washita Parish is doing up there? How about a fifth straight game rushing for over 200 yards?
Wow.
That's getting it done.
That is a big wow.
So you wanted to talk about Mangum? Here you go. Jalen Williams, another huge night with 6 touchdowns and an interception on defense. He also had 4 receptions for 97 yards. What a monster.
Wow.
That's a grown man there.
Yes, indeed.
That's a grown man.
That's the man that's going to be playing on Saturdays and maybe even Sundays.
Yeah, that's a safe bet right
Was
there.
the week before he had 800 and some yards?
Man, this man is good. How about Haynesville? Some love for the Tornadoes down there. Coach, do you know who the head coach is over there at Haynesville?
Drawing a blank on that.
Okay, let's talk about him. Haynesville coach David Franklin celebrates career win number 200, becoming the 57th coach in prep history to reach that mark. So what a great accomplishment there from the Haynesville head coach. What makes it even sweeter, guys, listen to this next one. He joins his father, Alton Red Franklin, as the only father-son duo in the 200-win club.
Wow.
Wow.
That's special.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
man.
What a headline there.
That
that's
is awesome.
That's
cool.
special.
That's the true love of for the sport.
Yes,
Yes, for sure.
Family affair.
That lets you know it's in the veins.
Yes,
That's in
most
the veins.
definitely.
Yeah.
How about Ruston? They avenge last year's loss to Neville behind an impressive 3-touchdown night from Aaron Jackson. So big night for Ruston. We made a bold statement a few weeks back, and I'm not sure if everybody was on board, but I said it. We said this Ruston team might find their way to New Orleans this year. Coach, would you agree?
Yeah.
It's a very talented football team. I totally agree. They have all the pieces that they need, and that defense is legit. That's a really good football team right there.
How about Rummel? They played Scotlandville this week, And Rummel falls to Scotlandville after a failed 2-point conversion at the end. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's
35-34.
That's oh man, that's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. But you got to play the game. Got to do it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that gut feeling that tells you to go sometimes, like I said, LSU should have went against Florida State. They went for it and didn't get it. But Coach said we ain't going into overtime.
Right.
So hats off there for being aggressive in those big-time games.
Yeah.
But you never know. A botch snap on the extra point, a kick wide left. You never know. How about Arch Manning? A lot of people have different opinions about Manning, but I have a good statement here from Manning. Arch Manning, now the all-time passing leader at Newman High School. He passed Eli and Peyton last week.
Right.
So now he holds the record there at Newman. So congratulations
Congrats to
to
that young man.
Arch. Coach?
Well, I'll say one thing. That's one talented kid. I got to see him play last year against LCA. Very talented, very cool, calm, and collected. And anytime you pass Eli and Peyton on any type of passing list, there's something there. Like you said, there's a lot of different opinions on him, what his ceiling is, what his floor is.
Right.
Is it because of his last name? The young man can play football. And again, the stats tell it all. So,
He has some big passing yards in his 4 years. I think he's a 4-year starter, so there you go. Looking at the next headline, how about some love for Troy? Troy's always in the chat, and Holden, we never give him any love. He always beats you up about Fountain Blue. But we never give Troy some love here. How about some love here for St. James?
Right.
St. James, Kobe Brown scores with 16 seconds remaining to beat Woodlawn of Baton Rouge. Final score 30-27.
Right.
You're talking about one of those games, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Buddy, that's a slobber knocker there.
Right.
How about Cecilia?
Oh, Michael.
Troy we just gave Troy some love, and he went straight at Holden. Cecilia, last second field goal lifts the Bulldogs over the Pios. You knew it
Yeah.
with Cecilia going on the road to play at the Pios. You said that ain't an easy place to win at.
Right.
Cecilia, I heard it was a crazy ending because of they gave Cecilia the ball back when it probably shouldn't have happened.
Right.
Cecilia
I
took
heard that
advantage
too.
of it, went down the field, kicked the game-winning field goal. So
Right. It's why would you give Cecilia the ball back? I mean,
Troy, you remember
I don't-
Fountain Blue in the early 2000s? You wouldn't be talking. Remember that?
how about a huge night for one of the players from the head coach sitting on the side of us right now tonight? Let's talk about him. Huge night for Bolton's Jalen Welsh.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
How about a pick six? How about a receiving touchdown? And how about a kickoff return for a touchdown?
See,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not heard the name Jalen Welsh, you better get on board because this guy will be playing somewhere next year. Coach, am I right?
oh yes, sir. And I have to let you know, it was 2 receiving touchdowns, and he had a second pick six that was called back at the 2-yard line for a block in the back.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, he'd had one of those games that you just read about in the ESPN article. He's a great kid on and off the field. Great student, is a 3.0 GPA. He's quick, he's fast, he's strong. He's gonna be a kid that everybody's gonna get to enjoy watching on Saturday afternoons. Man.
Coach, did I leave
Very
anything
talented.
out there from Mr. Welsh? Did I leave anything out of what he did that night? He probably played some defense also, huh?
Yeah, that's like he had 2 pick sixes. One was actually called back.
Yeah, that's what he said.
There you go.
So he's Mr. Everything for us. He runs the ball. He throws a doggone good spiral. He's on.
y'all
He
going at it in the
he impacts all 3 phases of the game. He's a ball player.
So he could have been your starting quarterback coming into the year if something would have happened to 11.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Do It All for the Bolton Bears. Congratulations. Huge night for Mr. Jalen Welsh. How about Elton? Celebrated first district win in recent years. How about those Indians from Elton High School gave us the Gary Swallow. A lot of people told us to get on board, and we did.
Mm-hmm.
And Elton, big win there. Congratulations, first district win. Gary, what you got to say about Elton?
I think Elton is a team that has basically come alive. I think that they're, you know, I'm so happy to see that because they were down for, oh God, many years. And I'm very happy to see that they're coming back, and I think they have a bright future.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
How about Jalen White breaks the career rushing record for Parkway? How about that?
Oh, wow.
So a huge milestone there from Jalen White. He breaks the all-time career rushing record, and some of those things just don't go. You don't see that pops out because you know you got Trey Holly up north, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Correct.
So you know you got Mangum. You know you got Washington Paris. Well, how about this kid from Parkway breaking the all-time rushing record? What a huge moment for him and that program.
Right.
Right?
Definitely.
Coach, we go into this week with 23 undefeateds remaining. So we're at that point where it's narrowing down. It's narrowing down to who is going to be the best going into the playoffs. Because you know you got to have some undefeateds remaining.
Correct. This is that stretch in the season where everybody's it goes into hyper focus. Like I said, we're starting district, but you had teams that have started district since week 3 with some of those 8-team districts.
Coach,
But
you had Acadiana's district start week 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you got one of those large districts, man, you as we call that murderous row. You know, a couple of district losses, and you can almost forget about playoff seeding. But again, you're starting to gear up for the playoffs. This is where you want to start clicking and playing your best football. So you know, it's going to be an interesting run down the stretch.
I got a 2-part thing here from Benton High School. Coach, you know where Benton is?
I would have to say up north.
I don't know where Benton is,
Benton.
but I'm going to talk about them a little bit because I got some huge headlines here from 2 guys on that football team. Benton played Bird last week, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? How about Pierce Russell from Benton High School? He had 12 catches, 273 yards, and 4 touchdowns against Bird.
Wow.
Well, Chris says it's north of Shreveport.
Up north.
How about their quarterback, Corey Walters? He went 22 for 32, 515 yards, and 8 touchdowns against Bird.
Jeez. That's getting it done there, buddy. God.
You read that? 8 touchdowns against a program like Bird, Gary.
That's actually pretty amazing right there. All I can say is wow on that one. That's actually pretty good. I didn't expect.
Yeah, I've never seen that stat line
Yeah.
before. Jeez.
How about Thursday night football this week? Woodlawn and Zachary scheduled to play on ESPNU. So if you ain't got nothing going on at your house tomorrow night, turn the TV on. Woodlawn Zachary live on ESPNU.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely be
That will
tuned in that game.
be in tune to that most definitely.
How about Abbeville and St. Charles, ladies and gentlemen? If you want to watch Abbeville this week, they're playing the defending state champs at their home stadium, and it's going to be on Cox on YourView, so you can go and find them on YourView this week. So just search YourView, and you get to watch that game between Abbeville and St. Charles. We got company. How about Northwood Lena? Football player gave up his homecoming crown to his longtime friend with special needs at the game the other night.
That's actually nice.
Yeah,
That's a special thing.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a real good thing.
Yeah, it was.
Let's let you know what type of young man and type of character that he has.
And you know that's what we've been seeing a lot of this year. We've seen a lot of good, humble students. You know, the things that I thought was lost
Right.
is actually coming back as far as good sportsmanship, respect,
Who did all this work?
picking people up. That's
They don't know that, though.
what it's about. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
Kyle, I didn't say you was washed up. We washed up. you a has been.
Yes.
I lied, boy.
How about Grant Ducote from Rose Pine? 12 carries, 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, and also to top it off, he had a kickoff return touchdown against Mr. Jake's, the Quincy Tigers. So
I tell you that kid right there is a darn good football
you played him in
player.
in the Jamboree
And
or
we
the spring
played
game?
him in the fall scrimmage.
Fall scrimmage.
And he's big, he's fast, he's strong, he's physical, he's a good blocker. Like he has all the tools. I look forward to seeing that where he goes for next
Baseball.
year. Yeah, sure he's going to LSU, for
LSU.
baseball. I would like to see him play college football because, like I said, he has all the tools and he has good vision as
And
well.
he broke the
all-time rushing record at his high school.
Running back
so
from Rose
he's a
Pine.
darn good football player. Darn good football player.
How about John Eves? You want a stat line right here that is impressive? It comes from John Eves from Bunkie High School. He had 18 tackles. He threw a 61-yard touchdown pass. He recovered a fumble. 3 punts he averaged for 41 yards. He also went 2 for 2 on extra points. Is that the ultimate Iron Man football right there from Mr. Eves?
Pretty much. That's all you can say is that's the horse riding.
Yeah.
You know.
Look, I can't say too much. We play bunk in a couple of weeks,
Yeah,
so we ain't gonna say too much.
Yeah, so. How about Jerry Griffin Jr. from Fairy Day? He made the game-winning interception to upset Vidalia. 28-24 was that final score. Game-winning interception against a team that was hot like Vidalia.
Yeah, but they's playing some good football.
Right.
That's impressive. That's big.
Oh, most definitely.
Next up, Lakeview. Dylan Pikes rushed for 2 touchdowns. He had a kickoff return, 2 interceptions, and forced a fumble that night.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, he got it. done.
Stats are rolling off the board
Man, that is
here
crazy.
in week 5.
Yes, sir.
So to clear things up, this is not Jake McCoy's show. This is Jordan Taylor's show. Let's clear that up, right? Who does the research?
You do.
Who puts everything together? Huh, Mr. Swallow?
You do.
Point closed. Tell Jake to go start his own show and you be his #1 fan.
There's a time and a place.
Yes.
Whenever you say stuff, it's a slap in his face.
Yes.
Just because I know you're not disrespecting. Oh, well, you basically disrespecting Jordy. I know you're not saying it in a mean way, but there's a time and a place when you say stuff. This man does all of this.
I don't
Like,
know
I know
what's
you
going
don't
on.
mean bad. I know you don't mean bad, Hayes. I'm talking about you, because he does all this. I don't help him because I'm work all the time. He does all this. He's not disrespecting Jake. Don't disrespect him on this show. Say it off the show or to somebody else another time. That's it. And keep it like that. Promise.
Xander Smith from Buckeye. Coach, you watched some film on Buckeye, right?
A little bit. Man, this kid, he's a.
So you've seen what he did.
Yes.
All right, let me let everybody know what he did real quick before you touch on him. Xander Smith from Buckeye had 3 interceptions, scored 2 touchdowns. 1 was a pass and 1 was a rush. So that's a guy that y'all probably watched a lot of film on this week.
Yes, sir. He's a darn good football player. He's tough. He's strong. He understands the game of football, the angles. Good runner, good passer. He's a phenomenal. He also plays strong safety for him. He's the captain of both the offense and the defense. He's a really good football player, and we got to come ready to match his energy on come Friday night because it's at Buckeye. So
This game will be live on 446 Sports. Am
Yes,
I
it will.
correct?
Yes, sir.
So if anybody want to watch Buckeye and Bolton this coming Friday, live on our 446 Sports from our friends up north.
Yes, sir.
How about the members of the 1972 Neville State title team was recognized earlier this year at their football game? So that was a huge headline there. Congratulations to that class for being honored.
Anytime you have a state championship, you know, it's very good to come back and remember them because, you know, I don't know about y'all, but unless you're a Curtis or one of these big powerhouses, you don't see state championships very often.
Correct.
And Neville's got a few, but I mean the thing about it is that I think it's great to recognize people for their successes.
Totally agree that when your name gets down in those history books, that's something that could be never taken away. No matter what happens, that's something that's going to always be on your resume. And for most people, your high school days are the best days of your life.
Right.
So to accentuate that with having a state championship, to bring something that you can bring pride to not only to your school but to your community, that's always an awesome thing.
Right.
Yes.
Always awesome.
High school memories are the best.
Yes, sir.
2 more headlines for you, ladies and gentlemen. The Trey Holly Show. He always in our headlines
Oh my God.
for some reason. How about Trey Holly surpasses the 9,000 rushing yard mark with a 12 carries, 309-yard night, 5 touchdowns.
12 carries.
12 carries,
Wow.
5 touchdowns.
That's when you just say,
half of the touchdowns.
9,000 career yards he just
Yeah.
surpassed.
yeah, that's
Nobody's
amazing.
ever going to catch him.
That's amazing.
That is a record that will stand forever.
How many games they played? They're
Oh my God! And they
So-
got 5 left.
They're
Plus
5
players?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he's
so
not
they got
done.
guaranteed at least 6 because they're making the playoffs.
Can he get 1,000 more?
Yes.
I'll put money
I'll
on
put
it.
money on
He
it
can
that
get
he's
a
going to get
thousand.
1,000.
He can
1,000
get 1,000
yards.
in 2 to 3 games.
Jesus. What, he had a 50-yard average?
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. 12 carries. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I'm going to let that one
Oh,
sink
and
down.
Yeah.
I don't know
That'd
if
be
y'all,
like,
I don't know-
wow.
I don't know if y'all been paying attention. They're not doing it against scrubs
They're
either.
playing some.
No, they're playing some quality
ball,
teams,
Quality
yes.
opponents, yes.
That's right, Holden. You hit that on the head.
Watch.
Final headline for you before we close headlines of the week, okay? How about your alma mater? Your alma mater over there, Keith. Chris's alma mater in the chat. Big D's alma mater down there where he lives, by Westminster. How about OHS? Their quarterback, Zach Malvo, scored 6 touchdowns the other night. 4 coming on the ground, 2 through the air, 248 yards total offense. Have a night, true sophomore.
Yes, sir. That's getting it done right there.
That
That's
is.
getting it done.
And
man,
an undefeated Leesville team came in and they did that against an undefeated Wampus Cats team.
On homecoming.
On
On
homecoming.
We want to talk about memories.
Oh, man.
Want to talk about memories? That right there.
Let me tell you something. That impressed me so much. It's like I told Jordan. I said, I don't think I'm going to pick against them again. I mean, I don't care. I mean,
Correct.
it's just like, oh my God, look at this. They are dominating.
Yes, sir. Like I said, being from Opelousas, man,
That's
it's awesome to see, man. What Coach
Yeah.
Zachary has done down there
Yeah.
in the time there is very impressive. He came in with a plan and he executed, man. It's great to see that my hometown, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's great to see my hometown, number 1 in the state, man.
But that's what
awesome.
I'm saying.
Awesome.
When has OHS, I don't think, has ever been ranked number 1. Have they? Never ranked number 1 in the state, and they are there. And man, it's happened like that.
Yes.
Hey.
Awesome.
I got a question I have for y'all. Now, it blew up this week on social media. People could not understand why a 4-1 OHS team was ranked number 1 and they had a 5-0 teams down there towards rank. Why isn't a 5-0 team ranked number 1 in the state? This is for people that don't really know this new setup and how power rankings work. So at this time, can we tell people that's watching
You're right, Chris.
exactly how this works?
I'll tell you why.
Strength of
You
schedule,
got
and
The
power,
schedule,
and
power ranking.
ranking.
Chris got it right on the head.
You got a
right there.
5-0 team that's sitting at 3 or 4. Why they're not ranked number 1? Well, let's talk about it, because this is a good question to educate those out there. Number 1, who have you played?
Correct.
That's right. Quality of the opponent.
Quality.
Number 2,
know.
what has those teams that you played done?
Correct.
If they're losing, it's not helping you.
Correct. And our Blues have played some quality opponents of Lake Charles College Prep, Santa Ma, Natchitoches Central,
They got another 5A this week, so that's gonna be
Leesville,
3
Yeah.
5As.
Niche.
Right.
So they're
not
playing
undefeated
quality
Leesville.
opponents, and that's
Hold on.
giving them a
Hold on,
strength of
Coach.
schedule.
They played an undefeated Turlings at the first game of the season.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. So
You
they-
want to know why OHS is ranked number 1? It's because of their strength of schedule. It's because of who they beat, and it's what the opponents are doing right now.
The one
Correct.
loss that they had was against a team.
Turlings is
that's
5-0.
5-0.
Undefeated
I mean,
Turlings.
and a
Loss is
powerhouse.
going to bring them up, so it doesn't make it.
So that's a little definition. Because if you're playing a team that is 0-5 right now, a team that's 1-4 right now, and a team that is 0-4 going
Right.
into this week, it's not helping you.
You're right.
You're right. You're right. Most definitely.
You might be that top dog. You might be, but it goes by power rankings. Those days of I'm undefeated, I deserve to be in the top 5, top 3 are
That's
over.
It's
gone.
over.
That's gone. With this new format, it's gone.
You look at St. Charles last week; they were 2-2, ranked number 1 in the state.
Correct.
Who
Correct.
have you played? What have those teams done?
That's all in the formula. Strength of schedule, quality of opponent. That's
Right.
that's your
Right.
PowerPoint formula.
So power points are what you look for, and like we talked about a little bit earlier, those scheduling will see a huge impact moving forward
Oh,
with
yes,
this
sir.
new system. Only 28's getting in for the public side. Only 24 are getting in for the private side.
Yes, sir.
There's going to be those coaches getting in and scheduling from here on out.
Oh yeah.
But the main reason why OHS is number 1, 3 reasons: St. Amant, Lake Charles College Prep, Leesville.
And that loss to Turlings is looking
And they
real
were
good,
toe
too.
to toe with Turlings. The only reason why they lost is because them boys got gassed out against a bigger school with had more kids. But you just beat a top 5 school in Leesville.
Speaking of rankings, that's our next subject for
Good.
tonight's matchup.
I thought you was about to hit something because you forgot something.
Number 1 ranked teams heading into week 6. We got some new faces
Good.
because you had 2 number 1s lose this past week.
Right.
Bird
You did.
went down. West Ouachita went down.
Right.
So we got some new guys at the top of the throne this week. We got some old faces back at the top of the throne this week. Let's start with the public side. Sounds good?
Right.
Division 1, your number 1 ranked team in the state this week goes to Ruston. Ruston, 4-1 record. They're the top dogs heading into week 6.
Mm-hmm.
Division 2, your number 1 ranked team this week, Opelousas High.
Well
with
deserved.
a 4-1
Well deserved.
record.
Well deserved. Earned.
Deserved. Yeah, well earned.
Well earned.
Division 3, with a 4-0 record. We all thought they should have played last week, but that's out of our control because West Monroe had an open spot, but we can't control that.
What's
Right.
up, Braden?
How about 4-0 Manny High School, staying on top this week at number 1 for Division 3.
Man, it's tough, man.
You know what's crazy? They actually look better this year than they have the previous years.
And they have a grown man suiting
Grown
up
man
for 'em.
football.
Yeah.
And it's not just Tackett they got up there, man. They got a safety. I think he's higher rated. They got a few other athletes on there.
One of Gary's favorite teams to talk about, week in and week out, is ranked number 1 in the state back-to-back weeks. How about the Roos?
I
From
like 'em.
Kentwood, Louisiana, baby. How about that water tower?
I want to
Gary?
go play under the water
Nothing
tower,
like
man.
playing under that water tower,
That's
man.
it.
Kentwood,
The Roos.
4-1.
When I first started coaching football, playing under that
I guess the
water
team
tower on a
didn't play.
Friday night.
Just keeps on saying
Yeah.
they playing under a water tower. Yes, they are. But guess what? That's their reputation. I mean,
It's gonna
they-
pop
they-
up
ain't
again.
nothing like playing under
What's
the
the
water
water
tower.
tower?
Nothing.
The tailgating,
Right.
the barbecue pits. I mean,
Support.
that community
Oh.
really rallies around that school, and it's something that to
Right.
behold, man.
Next up, private side of the division bracket. Division 1, we got a new face at the top, but it's not a unfamiliar face, folks. How about Catholic of Baton Rouge,
Oh,
your
yeah.
new top dogs this week? They're 4-1.
Mm-hmm. Catholic of BR.
Yeah, buddy, those guys have been up there for a few years now, man. It's a darn good program they got there year
Yes,
in,
sir.
year out.
Coach Arsenault down there doing tremendous things over there for sure. Division 2, same old faces, another week. How about the Turlings Rebels? 5-0. Division 2, That bracket is loaded. We talked about it, Coach, a little bit earlier.
Yes, sir.
Right.
You say whoever gets one of them in the second round, holy hell.
Yeah, good luck
Yeah.
with it. I mean, you just look at the top 4 teams. You have Turlin Catholic, St. Thomas More, De La Salle, and Lafayette Christian.
Yeah.
That's the SEC West
Coach.
as far as high school
Right.
football is concerned, man. You catch one of them in the second round when they're clicking, good luck with it. But that's why we play the games.
That's
man.
right.
That's why we
You got to play the game.
Coach, Division 3, new face at the top this week. It is the Newman Greenies.
Really?
Newman, 4-1 on the year. Only loss came to undefeated Manny. They are ranked number 1 this week in Division 3.
Well, a loss to Manny makes your power points go up. I won't lie to you because Manny's good.
Yes.
That's it.
It's a darn good football team on
Well,
both sides.
Congratulations to Newman and Arch Manning.
The best comment of the night goes to Mr. Troy. He said the playoffs will be fired this year. So there
I
you go.
agree. I totally agree.
Division 4, number 1 ranked team going into week 6, St. Martin's continues to stay at the top. Who's going to knock them off of their high horse right there? Gary,
I don't know.
another week
Right.
we said who should be number 1 this for Division 4?
I don't know.
Vermilion Catholic.
I've said that. I want to see VC because I'll be honest with you. I don't. Right now they're
Coach.
playing. I don't think anybody can beat them right now.
Coach, you want a headline?
Shoot it with me.
Coach, 12 straight quarters. Vermilion Catholic has not allowed a point.
Wow.
Going for 16 this week.
Wow. That's impressive because they already have a darn good offense. But you having a defense that's shutting out people at that rate, you're gonna be a hard football team. to beat.
Yes, indeed, my friend. So that was a look at our number 1 ranked teams this week. How about we take a look at our locals? Coach, you're not a local, but we will announce where you at. You are in a Division 2 private school bracket.
Yes, sir.
Coach, from Bolton High School, they come in ranked number 18 this week.
Yes, sir.
Coach, keep it up, Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the plan. The
As
guys
a
are
running
working
back
hard.
who has gotten offered by LSU, he's the whole offense, but he is the real deal. There you go, Holden. Get on your Twitter machine and find out who this kid is.
Who?
From
St. Martinville?
From St. Martin's.
St. Martin's.
They're number
St.
1 ranked
Martinville.
team in Division 4.
He's only a
St.
sophomore.
Martin.
Only a sophomore. There
Right.
you go. LSU offered him. That's what Mr. Braden said.
Mhm.
Braden's never wrong.
Nope.
All right, let's take a look at our locals now.
Let's go.
Division 1 private.
I don't know. St. Martin Episcopal?
Probably. All right, your number 1 ranked team, Catholic of Baton Rouge. Your number 4 ranked team, Scotlandville. Number 9, Karen Crow. Number 10, Acadiana. Number 17, Woodlawn. Number 20, Lafayette. That's where our locals fall this week. A lot of competitive teams right there in that mix.
Oh, yes, sir.
How about Division 2, ladies and gentlemen? Turlings, 1. St. Thomas More, 2. LCA, 5. Madison Prep, 10. St. Louis, 11. And Northside, 24. Only 24 get in.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
He's
I
only
tell you,
sophomore.
they call that the SEC West of high school
That's
football.
gonna be a fun playoff.
That's a heck of a playoff bracket to find yourself in.
Division 3. Notre Dame comes in at 4, Episcopal at 6, Parkview at 8, ULAB at 9, Lake Charles College Prep at 13, Catholic New Iberia at 15, and Ascension Episcopal at 21. Prep is at 13, ULAB is at 9. I said that right.
Wow.
There's going to be a nice district
Wow.
championship at the end of the year.
Yeah.
There'll be
probably,
fireworks there. There'll be
Fireworks,
fireworks.
most definitely.
Division 4, Vermilion Catholic comes in this week at 3. They're right there. Hanson Memorial, undefeated, baby. How about that football team? They're at 4. Central Catholic at 5. Catholic of Poincapie at 10. Your defending state champs is at 12. Southern Lab. Sacred Heart 13 and St. Ed's at 18. So that is a look at our private schools for the rankings. For our locals.
Right.
For our
Yeah,
locals.
for our locals.
Just to piggyback off of
Go ahead, Coach.
Division 2, we talk about LCA's at 5, Turlin's at 1, and STM is ranked number 2.
Coach, they all gonna play each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're all in the same district.
District.
Right.
You know, that's crazy. Madison Prep
Coach,
is at
flip
9.
that page real quick.
U High's at 11. They're in the same
Yeah.
district.
Who Turlings plays this week? Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna
We'll
find
forget
out.
it, and let's not forget about Westgate. Oh
We're gonna
gosh.
find out.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out.
You know,
We will find out what's happening with that.
just
tonight.
defending state champions. You know, that might be the hardest district in the state of Louisiana. That may be the hardest. And
It's up there for sure.
long ago, that was the Opelousas High district.
Yes.
That was stiff competition. Yeah.
All right. How about public school Division 1 bracket? Zachary at 2. Southside at 3. Boy, you like the Sharks.
I do like the Sharks.
Defending state champs Westgate 6. Central Baton Rouge 13. Nish 25.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, Westgate's a darn good football team, and again, they got a key matchup this
strength
week.
of schedule.
They have a key matchup this week, so
Okay.
you're really gonna see this is where the rubber meets the road.
You're right.
Division 2, ladies and gentlemen, OHS, the top dogs at 1. West Feliciana 2. Church Point 3. Abbeville 4. That's a top 4.
Right.
Iowa at 8. Kaplan at 10. Cecilia at 11. Bruley 14. ERAF 17. St. Martinville 18. North Familia 19. Iota 24. Northwest 25. And Rain 26. Boy, we got a lot of locals in this
Right.
Division 2 bracket.
Right.
sir.
Sure do.
I don't think Cecilia should be 11. I think they should be a lot lower, like top.
Oh, you
10.
mean higher? in the-
Yeah.
Yeah, top
see.
10. Top 10.
Division 3. Not many locals here, but we still going to talk about them. Avoyos at 6, Lowerville 11, Port Allen 12, Westlake 14, Kinder 18, Patterson 22, and Mamu 28. You talk about a Patterson team that is too low.
Yeah, I think
What they've been
they
doing,
should be
Coach.
a lot. They should be a lot higher.
But like you said, strength of schedule.
Yes.
Strength of schedule, and Avoyos, that they're gonna be a team that's not fun to play in the playoffs. I tell you that much.
Yeah.
They are ground and pound. They coming right at you, foot to foot splits, and they're trying to run the football. Crazy thing about Coach Boom, he never kicks off. Everything's onside
We
kick.
saw it in person.
Yeah,
last
we saw it
year.
in
Man,
person.
listen here, that's something that if you don't
We
practice
froze
on a
last
regular, it could get real bad real fast.
Right. And they score points.
Heck, at one
They
point
score.
it was I mean, I know it got away, but they were scoring with LCA almost every possession until LCA stopped them a few times.
Yeah.
And that's I think their 2 losses on the years of LCA and Turlin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that when you talk about a strength of schedule,
Not
and
bad losses
they
at
had
all.
back-to-back weeks where they scored 68 points and 72 points. So
Devin-
I
Right,
mean,
right, right.
Devin
it
Saab
can
said
snow
hands
down real
team.
fast.
Get
Yes,
the
sir.
hands team in the
You
game.
better have them ready. You better
Coach,
have
you
them
don't even have to
ready.
practice your plays that week. You just got to practice
Hands
special
team.
teams.
Special teams.
Right,
man.
true.
Division 4, boy, we got a bunch of them. Basile comes in ranked 3rd this week.
Go ahead.
Oakdale ranked 5th. I'll tell you what, Basile's going to be hurting in a couple weeks with their strength of schedule in their
Right.
district.
Yeah.
Heck of a district.
Oakdale at 5, Delcom at 9, Welsh at 12, Grand Lake at 13. That 5, 9, 12, and 13 teams all could make a run for a state title,
Right.
and they're not ranked 1.
Right.
Who's won?
Kentwood.
The rule.
The
The
Ruse.
Ruse. Generette 15, East Bow
Can't argue with that
16, Lake Arthur 17, Franklin 18, Oberlin 22, Centerville 24, Elton 25, Gaydon 26. So that was a look at our playoff rankings. Coach, how about stat leaders in the state of Louisiana, courtesy of Go Preps?
Yes, sir. We have some leaders here. We have some eye-popping numbers
Eye-popping
across
numbers
the
on- yeah,
state.
You're right.
I got top 3 from each category. Okay? Passing leaders going into week 6. It has to be Patterson. Okay? Kalen Davis from Patterson. He's 114 for 156. 22 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1927 is his yardage right now.
Wow.
Nobody's even close right now.
What is it? My bad. I didn't hear it.
114 for 156, 22 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1927 is his yardage.
I like to know what
He's
class
been
he's in.
he's been leading the state in passing for quite a while now.
It's nice when you got.
Patterson is D3 public.
He's gonna be
No.
Oh yeah.
Class he's in.
Yeah.
That's a 4,000 yard pass if he keeps it up there with those numbers.
You're right.
Just wait till you hear his receiver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. The other eye popping numbers.
How about Huntington? Right on his tail, a good ways back, but we'll see. 88 for 150, 18 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. His stat line is 16-17. So 1,617 yards right now.
That's
Miss Bertrand, they are ranked number 3.
Ben Taylor from Airline rounds off the top 3 here. 95 for 168, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 1322 is his yardage. So
Right.
congratulations, top 3 there in the state with passing. Coach, you got
Right.
your stats for your quarterback?
Brendan Page is 52 of 71. I think it's right around 60%. 700 some odd yards, 14 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
Okay.
oh wow.
There you go.
And he has 2 tuds on the ground as well. So.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Big difference from
Yeah.
when we saw him week 1. He's
Yes,
turned
sir.
it on.
He's definitely turned. He,
Come
you know,
around.
first year quarterback, first time starting. You know, you get the jitters, but he's now he's worked himself into being a quarterback and not just a thrower of the football.
Right.
He's dedicated himself to the film study, and he's really have taken on that leadership role. I'm very proud of that young man.
That's good. I was impressed with the way he talked when we interviewed, that, and so I'm glad to see that he's coming a lot, coming
Yes,
of
sir.
age.
Yes, sir.
How about rushing leaders in the state of Louisiana? If you had to give me your 3, who would it be right now? Let's see if you're right. Is that Tim?
But I can only give you the top 2. I don't know.
Garrett?
I have no idea, Joe. I wish I could, but I have no idea.
Oh,
I know Trey Holly's not in the top 3.
turn your volume up. See if you can hear us.
Yeah, well, I think it's the running back from name is number 1.
See if you can hear us.
I think there's another running back. I think it's like North Webster or Carroll. I don't know.
I'm gonna come give the
school
No, I need
he
the
went
phone
to.
so I can see my
I
ear.
know Trey Hollis top 5. I don't know if he's number 3 there. And I said there's a running, and there's another one I can't think of right now.
Right. Well, yeah, the mics are out right now, guys, so bear with us. We're gonna have to be yelling a little
Make sure
bit.
it's plugged in. So just talk louder, guys.
Yeah, we just have to talk
When
louder.
we get to the game picks, I'm gonna put it just on us
Yeah.
and get it all out. All right, rushing leaders in the state of Louisiana. Number 3, PJ Martin,
What school?
De La Salle. 135 attempts, 1205 on the ground, and 12 touchdowns. Comes in at number 3. You wanted Trey Holly, he's at 4.
Yeah, I told you he wasn't 4. Okay.
How about Cordell Sermons from Ouachita Parish? 115 attempts, 1,239 yards on the ground, and 14 touchdowns. And then you got the man himself, Mr. Jalen Williams, coming in at number 1 from Mangum. 127 attempts, 1,308 yards on the ground, 20 touchdowns on the year.
season.
That is 10 yards a carry.
5 weeks into the season.
Wow!
That's insane.
Man, that's insane.
Every time he touches the ball, it's a first down.
You're right.
Yeah, and he did that against Oak Grove. There's a few other good
General
schools.
Trash.
General Trash.
Oh God, man.
Mangum, they are somebody that could be in the dome for sure.
Right.
Receiving leaders heading into week 6. Number 3, Marion Miller from North Caddo. 24 receptions, 673 receiving yards, and 8 touchdowns. Here, go ahead, Coach.
I'll tell you something about that kid. We faced North Carolina week 2. That kid he's a grown man. He's big, he's fast.
I watched some
strong.
highlights of him from
he
the Neville
high-points the
game.
ball. He has great footwork.
Nebraska
he's
commit,
a
huh?
stud football player.
Old
He's committed
LSU
to
commit.
Nebraska. Yeah, he committed
Nebraska.
to Nebraska.
Nebraska.
They're getting a darn good football player. I tell you that he's a very humble young man. We talked to him after the game. Yes, sir. No, sir. Appreciate it. You know, he's a very humble young man. That kid is he's a dude.
Nebraska needs to get some coaches. That's what they need.
How about Pierce Russell from Benton High School? 36 receptions, 685 yards receiving, and 7 touchdowns through 5 weeks.
You were just talking about Ben a while
We're
ago.
just talking about Benton.
Yeah.
Or should we start getting on this Benton radar?
We gotta look at it. At least look at it.
What's the record, Jordan?
They're not on the pick'ems this week, but they did go down and beat Bird last week,
Yeah,
and
they
they're
sure
putting
did.
up eye-popping numbers. Coach, would you put them on your radar?
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
Birds a darn good football team. You go there and you get a win there. That's a statement on your resume.
Coach, 8 touchdowns for the quarterback.
8
8.
Yeah.
for the quarterback.
That's getting it done. You get a good win against a quality opponent and putting up numbers like that. You have to be on your radar.
They went down the wire with
So-
Newman.
They're 2-3, but they lost to a team in Texas, 46-35. They lost to Newman, 54-52. They lost to Airline, 75-59, and then they beat Bird, 63-28. I mean, they put up some points, y'all.
Yeah, but
Final one goes to Patterson, and it's not even close.
Nope.
So I just said it was 685 from the guy that's number 2. Well, Patterson is up by 300 yards.
Right.
Howard Kitchen from Patterson High School, 43 receptions, 931 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Gary, I read this off of Go Preps.
43 receptions, and he got 931 yards and 12 touchdowns.
His quarterback's number 1 ranked
Wow.
in the state,
Dude!
Gary. 43 of those 114 receptions.
Right, that's
goes
what
to
I'm
him.
saying.
Who's the top
Okay.
player?
He's the big man.
Double team.
Right.
that's almost 200.
Hey, triple is sometimes
Yeah,
they put
yeah.
3 on him. Take a linebacker and put on him.
Somebody else is
Oh,
gonna have to
man.
beat us tonight, except you, my man.
Wow.
So that is your top 3 leaders in the state of Louisiana from passing, rushing, receiving. How about the locals who cracked this list this week? Passing came in at number 7. It was Jawan Johnson from LCA. Everybody knows about him.
Right. He's good.
How about Daniel Beal from Catholic of Baton Rouge came in at 10. And Preston Welsh from Turlins came in at 13 this week.
Wow. That's awesome.
Rushing for our locals, where did they crack the list? Number 8 from Kaplan, Caden Compassi. We always talk about
Yeah.
him. Number 11, DeCarian Sampson from Avoyos.
Oh, yeah. He's a stud.
He's a
Yes,
beast.
he is.
Yeah.
He's a dude.
Number 12, Kevon Johnson from St. Ed's. May I remind you, he's only played 4 games.
And that's my classmate's son, Mr. Kevin Johnson. That's a special kid. He's a special kid. Man, great
That,
to see
that LeBron's game got canceled.
Yes.
Where would his numbers be if they would have played that one?
Oh,
Right.
my gosh, yeah.
I watched him on whenever they went to Texas.
Uh-huh.
I was impressed by the whole. I was impressed by the whole team. I was impressed by the way they were playing, and I'm gonna tell you that don't surprise me.
He's a special kid.
And your final one for Russian, number 13, Ian Vigo from Grand Lake. So a lot of faces getting love here from our locals. And final is receiving. Number 5, Kentrell Prejean from Turlings. That's a special kid over there too.
Right.
Number 9, Shelton Sampson. That's a familiar name, right?
LSU. Yeah.
LSU commit from Catholic of Baton Rouge. Number 11, show some love to the Hurricanes, Gary Swallow. How about Davian Laverne from North Central?
Really? Wow, congratulations, man.
How about number 12, Drew Dronette from Sam Houston?
Wow.
So that was a look at our locals, cracking the list. Coach, you got a stat line on Welsh?
Yes, sir. I have 27 catches for 316 yards and 11 touchdowns.
Wow. Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So I covered everything I have to lead up to the game picks. Do y'all have anything
Nope.
that y'all want to talk about before I set this camera up where it needs to be and we talk about game picks?
No, let's do it.
Yeah. Spread the wealth of the beer.
Yeah. Yeah, Mikey, I'm hearing you, buddy.
Slide in, Coach.
Yeah, let's slide in.
Move those things out the way here.
All of
We'll leave it.
Mike's not working. Maybe do the old-fashioned way. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, guys, we having to go to the old-fashioned way.
Hold and slide in.
We're having some technical issues, so bear with us.
If we knew more about football, this wouldn't happen.
That's right.
This year with the veer, number 10 is 7 yards, 8 touchdowns, and the other
Holding, you're not in it, baby.
Move it.
Who's Mike kicking about?
Oh, that's Mike.
That's Oakdale.
Oh, he's from Oakdale, yeah. That's good.
Somebody do a mic check, see if they can hear y'all now.
Mic check. Can y'all hear us, guys?
So Oakdale
Can y'all hear us?
play this week?
Mic check.
Oakdale and the Wolves play this week?
Yes.
That's gonna be a good
That game might be like 8 minutes because all the running.
It's gonna be a running clock. It's gonna be a running
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody's good. Coach, talk.
Can you hear me?
Can y'all hear Coach? Can you hear me?
Alex said petty trap.
I'm here.
Coach got a low tone. He talks to this guy smooth.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. Get that rage in.
It only broke
The
because
sideline is.
it only broke because we finally had a coach come.
We had an
Yeah.
assistant coach, but we never had a head coach.
Head coach.
Right. So, but next week it'll be nobody, and
Cut holding
it'll,
out the video. He beat me by one game last week.
Chris, and what I tell you, man, just listen to me, bro.
Hey,
All right,
let's
ladies and
get
gentlemen, at this time we will shift gears and head to Week 6 game picks. If you would like to follow along with the panel, you can go ahead and leave your answers in the chat. A lot of fun to pick these games. Sometimes we pick with our heart, sometimes we pick with our gut, sometimes we pick because that team is just that much better than that opponent. So we have a lot of fun with it. Please don't judge us for these picks. We enjoy what we do, but we know there's a lot of tension sometimes when we pick against your school.
Right.
Man.
Right.
I pick against my alma mater, y'all. I mean, come on.
We
Relax.
do too.
Coach, Holden might pick against you tonight, so
Yeah,
don't come across the table.
Yeah. Don't throw nothing at him too. We might be killed.
Who y'all play?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got something written down for every team here tonight. So maybe it'll help us out a little bit better.
All right.
Because this is some new teams that we are covering this week, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Once you turn the page, you're going to see some names. You're like, man, you ain't never put them on a schedule before. So 4 years later, welcome to the schedule.
Go ahead. I'm ready for it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this ball rolling. Coach,
Yes, sir.
you need to leave or you can stay with us?
Oh, I'm good.
All right.
Coach said he's good to go for the flight. Holden, you good to stay? Coach, Holden's good to stay.
It ain't 12, we
And,
good.
and Gary got to shut the lights out, so we're good.
I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Week 6 high school football with the panel. Here we go. Thursday night football, we get things kicked off with the game that we are covering this week. A lot of people say, why didn't you go to Grand Lake and Welsh? Would love to go to Grand Lake and Welsh. Nobody contacted us. Nobody reached out.
Yeah.
And then here comes Basil 3 businesses said, I would
Please.
love to sponsor this week if you make the trip down to Hamilton Christian.
Guess what? We're going to Hamilton Christian.
Going to Hamilton Christian, Coach.
That's right.
I don't blame you.
Basil, Hamilton Christian. Hamilton Christian looking for their first win of the season. Coach, I counted 8 eighth graders playing on that football team this year, and their starting quarterback is an 8th grader.
Yeah.
Growing pains right now for Hamilton Christian. We saw this team play last year, Gary.
Right.
We said, man, that's a really good football team last year. And then from the trend from last year to now, it's like, how did it change so much? And then I look at the roster today because I asked Coach for a roster for tomorrow night's game.
Yeah.
And I saw that, I was like, man, it's a lot of underclassmen playing big time football
Right.
here in this season. So this team might be special in a couple years from now. But you got Basil and their two-headed monster in the backfield.
Right.
Time of possession, they're gonna get in and get out kind of a deal there.
Right. I got to go with Basil. I'm sorry to say that, you know, but Hamilton Christian is just they're learning. They're young this year. This is where you gotta teach your team how to play, and unfortunately, you know, Basil's gonna be too strong for them.
Coach, what you thinking?
I guess I'll take the same Basil. Like I say, when you have that many youngsters on the football team, you're teaching them how to win.
Right. Correct.
So down the road, they're building a program there around their young core. So a couple years from now, they'll be all right. But I think the Bearcats is a little bit too
Coach,
much.
if you never watched a video of the game last year with Basil and Hamilton Christian, don't leave until I show you how that one ended.
Yeah, we'll show you that. You gotta see
Final
this.
play of the game, Basil ain't threw a pass all game.
Okay.
A pass and touchdown to win it.
Unbelievable.
Holden, you like the Bearcats? And myself is going to be across the board. The Basil Bearcats moves to 5-1 on the year, and it sets up a big date with Oberlin.
Right.
I think it's next week.
Right.
All right, next matchup is 1-3 Covington Christian versus those Vermilion Catholic Screaming Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it. I wrote down, can VC make it 16 quarters in a row? That's what we're looking for here. Because I think we're picking VC to win it across the board.
I'm
I
sure.
think everybody's picking VC, right?
Right.
We like the Screaming Eagles. Coach didn't know that they have not given up a point in 12 quarters. Now the big test is, just for our opinion, I know coaches don't think about those type of things.
Right. Nah,
Coaches want to win the game.
correct.
Coaches don't care about the little
But
flashy
1 point
stuff.
or 20 points, don't matter.
We like to see those type of things.
Yeah.
Can you make it 16 in a row this week? What a major headline that would be.
Yeah, that's a major accomplishment. And you're right. As coaches, we don't look for how long can we keep a team from scoring in multiple games. But after a while, you kind of look up when you hear people talk about, you're like, wait, we really haven't allowed a touchdown in 12 quarters. You know, that's something that you keep in the back.
Haven't
of
allowed a
your mind.
point.
Right.
No points.
Exactly.
Coach,
That's a major
and-
accomplishment.
And a lot of times when you get in those type of games, you get your younger guys in and they might give up a garbage time type of touchdown.
Correct.
So
That lets you know that everybody's locked in. Everybody's locked in.
it's going to be oh, Lord, look out, put it on Covington.
Oh, don't do that.
Could I wasn't even looking. So it's going to be across the board
Correct.
for the Screaming Eagles.
And I'm gonna go out on a limb. I don't think that they'll score on. I don't. I think they're gonna go another shutout.
Streak continues.
Streak continues. I'm gonna say it. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna say it.
That offense is pretty good too.
Oh,
They've been putting up 40 plus every week also.
And that's what makes them dangerous.
Yeah.
That's what makes them dangerous.
Next up, Central Catholic Centerville. This game, we talked to the Centerville coaches in the beginning of the season. We kind of had this one a little check mark by, right?
Right.
But we look at Central Catholic and what they did to Generate last week. We said, don't bet against Central Catholic moving forward. And I don't think I'm betting against Central Catholic moving forward.
Keep in mind, Centerville lost to Generate 8-0.
So I know you have to play the game, but I think this Central Catholic team's hot right now at the right
Right.
time.
Yeah. And as much as I love what Centerville is doing, I think Central Catholic is gonna be a little too strong for them.
Coach, what you thinking?
Totally agree. They're clicking on all cylinders. Again, they have some impressive performances themselves. So I think it's gonna continue to bring them up to 5-1.
How about your next matchup? Gato and Elton. If I told you this was a good matchup coming into the season, you'd have said, man, you're crazy. This is 1-4 versus 0-5 coming into week 6. I mean, 1-5 versus 0-5 coming into week
Right.
6. But if I told you these two teams have off to one of their best starts in recent memory, here's what I wrote down for Gato and Elton, Gary.
Okay.
Bet the over for points scored in this game.
Yeah, no joke.
Gary, final score, give me 62-40. That's where I think this game's going to end up.
You're gonna probably be close.
Give me Elton.
I'm going with
At
Elton.
home.
I'm going with Elton too. I'll give him home field advantage.
I think Ian is at home.
Elton? Oh! He said hello to Mr. Eddie down there in Elton, Louisiana,
Catch you next week,
and Mr. Brody, and Mr. Destin, and all our good friends over there in Elton. So across the board for Elton at home. They're playing good football. Only ran into a really good Brazil team so far this year that has slowed them down a little bit.
Right.
They only lost by 2 touchdowns.
Right.
How about ESPNU? If you ain't got nothing going on, turn your TV on. Channel 20 something on DirecTV. I'm not sure about the other places.
ESPNU 208.
208, Mr. Swallow says, can Woodlawn keep this game close against Zachary? Or is this just two different teams right now on playing fields? Woodlawn, they are off to a struggling start. They're playing really good competition. You can't neglect that. We all know what Zachary's got. Will Eli Holstein play? We know that Collins is playing for Woodlawn. So they put this together, LSU versus Bama.
Yes, sir.
Quarterbacks, I don't know if Holstein's playing. If he doesn't play, I still think Zachary wins this football game.
I agree. I think Zachary's going to be too strong across the board. That's all I got to say.
Coach, you like Woodlawn, huh?
I'll take Woodlawn in the upset.
There you go.
I'll
First
take
one
Woodlawn
of the
in
night.
upset.
Upset pick. Give him Woodlawn on prime time television.
Yes, sir. I really like Ricky Collins. Got to see him this summer. Another humble young man to see the success that he's gotten, that he's received. Good coach staff on both sides, but I will go ahead and go out and maybe take Woodlawn.
Right, Coach. Hold.
Yeah, you know how I like Ricky Collins too, but the only problem with Woodlawn is their offensive line. That's why he hasn't put up the numbers this year. And that's the reason why I'm going with Zachary.
Okay. I'm going to go with Zachary also. A lot of D1 talent on both sides of the,
Most definitely.
of the field that night.
Most
You
definitely.
got a future commit in Kylan Jackson, a 5-star safety, and Zachary. And boys are good.
And a couple of LSU commits, Alabama committed, Tennessee committed,
Right.
Auburn committed. So it's a very talent-rich game that's going to happen on tomorrow.
Yes.
And not just D1 commits, SEC.
We talking about SEC guys.
I just hope they can protect Richie Collins, because if they can give that kid time, it's going to be a shootout.
It's going to be a shootout.
But
Beekman Charter, Westminster of Lafayette. Who y'all like?
I don't know any of these schools, so I just go with whoever you pick, because I really don't know.
I'm not sure about Beekman.
Tell you what, I like what Coach is doing at
Is this
Westminster.
homeschool football?
No, this is just,
Westminster Lafayette.
I like what Coach is doing over there at Westminster Lafayette. First year playing 11-man football. First year of playing 8-man football was last year.
That's right.
So they're playing 11-man football this year, and they're putting up some good numbers from the offensive side. Expect some type of shootout between Beekman and Westminster. Give me Westminster on the turf.
I don't know.
Well, I'm rolling with Jordan.
I'll take Beekman.
And this game doesn't count against our picks because they're not an LHSAA member school yet.
Beekman been playing football a little.
Chris, it
longer,
doesn't
so I'll
count,
take-
so it doesn't matter if you get it over me. It don't count.
So Coach loves what we do. Coach
Yeah.
wants to be implemented on the show. Coach,
Yeah,
I'm picking you this week.
I'll go with Westminster. I mean, I hope they do it. They, like you said, they're both not in the LHSA yet
Well,
because they're
Beekman
on
is.
that. Well, Beekman, but I mean, Westminster. But they've been doing some good things over there, so I'll give them a shot.
Oh, you said who?
I'll go with y'all. I mean, it don't really count, so
Coach.
show them some love.
I'll take B.
Okay. All right, your big one on Thursday night football. 4-0 Welsh heading down to 5-0 Grand Lake or 4-0 Grand Lake. Oh, you got the stats? But as we talk about that matchup, physical football,
Oh God.
emotional football for 4 quarters, a potential playoff matchup where these two teams can meet back up down the road. I got Welsh and Grand Lake, brother.
Oh, my bad.
So that's what I wrote down for these teams: physical, emotional type of game.
Grand Lake's 5-0.
Potential rematch later on when we get to the playoffs. Somebody's gonna be undefeated leaving this game. Grand Lake is the home team. Can Welsh go in and continue their hot streak? The Greyhounds against Grand Lake. We know Grand Lake runs that offense to a T right now. So it's a tough pick. I mean, it's more along with who you're leaning with. Do you go home team? Do you go with, I mean, you can't say one's hotter than the other because they both off to a hot start.
Exactly.
Right.
Give me the Road Warriors. I'll take Welsh.
You like the Greyhounds,
I
huh?
like the Greyhounds.
Okay, coach.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I kind of think the same way. I'm kind of leaning towards Welsh, so I'm gonna go Welsh too. Oh, I think it's gonna be an awesome game.
Yes.
I think it's gonna be an awesome
Great
game.
football.
Oh, tough pick, huh? I'm gonna go ahead and say, give me the Greyhounds on the road in this one. But if Grand Lake wins this football game, then we have to shut up, and eat our words moving forward because that'll be the second time we picked against them, Gary.
I know. That's right, but I think it's both great. I think that this is probably the most Thursday night. That's the most evenly matched game that I can see right now.
Yeah. I'll agree.
Yeah. And I think it's gonna be a barn burner. I think it's gonna be.
I think
Oh.
people they're gonna get their money's worth.
You're right.
I was gonna go Grand Lake, but give me Welsh.
All right, we're gonna go
Okay,
across the board. Road Warriors for the Greyhounds.
That
And
was
they do it
great.
back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
They went down and beat Louisville last week, a comeback victory.
Right.
Grand Lake, they have not showed any struggle so far. They played Oakdale and beat them in the playoffs, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Friday night football, ladies and gentlemen, let's do it. Church Point, the Battling Bears, with their three-headed monster. And we talked about our championship caliber middle teams that could win the state title at the end of the year. And you got three locals sitting right there. And Church Point is one
One of 'em.
of them. They go down to all Altamont this week, Gary, and man,
It's gonna be ugly.
yeah, I hate to say it, but it's not going to be good, my friend. Hopefully, they get out there healthy and the clock is running
Right.
because this Church Point team's good.
I think it's gonna be Church Point. Ugly. Church Point bad. They're gonna really explode. I'm sorry, Port Bear. I love you to death. I always will. Yes.
Gary, you ain't gotta explain yourself. You know it.
Not gonna happen. Yeah, you know.
Coach,
I'll take CP as well.
what were you about to say? I'll take PB. I was about
Not
to-
not this week.
I'd have made sure I'd have had to check him for a fever.
Holmes said
Give me the Bears.
the Bears, and I'm going to go with the Bears also. You look at the Bears; they need to get in and get out of this game and stay healthy.
That's the key.
Because they got a lot to look for down the road.
Yeah, Church Point's got a lot to play for in the future. They just need to make sure nobody gets hurt, stay healthy. It's gonna be at Port Barry. I hate to say it, the hardest thing will be just driving down there, and I think it's gonna be a one-sided thing.
All right,
You have
next,
to say all that.
I'm sorry, I'll tell the truth.
next up, ladies and gentlemen, how about the battle for the Big Cat Trophy? I'm might have said that wrong. It might be the Big Cat Classic, might be the Big Cat Trophy, might be the Big something. Somebody's in the chat gonna correct me.
Right.
But the next matchup, 1-3 Vinton, heading down to 0-4 to Quincy. And this one is for that trophy. Last year, it
Right.
stayed at the Quincy. Does it stay in the Quincy another year, or does Vinton come on the road and steal it away this year? Got a chance. Can he do it?
Benton's been having some issues, and
Depth.
yeah, as far as
issues.
depth, that's what I'm saying. Some issues with depth. I
Well,
think
which 11 are you putting on the field? Or is that some ballers?
that's
All you need is
that's
11
the
to play football.
correct, but I mean, can they do that for 4 quarters? I think the Quincy's going to have a little bit.
Only team I know that could do that for 4 quarters is the Boilers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've got to go. I think I'm going to give the Quincy the edge on this week. Yes, sir.
Coach?
I'm gonna go with the same. I'm gonna go with the home team. They keep the trophy in the trophy case.
I know one thing. If the Quincy doesn't win, Jake's gonna rip his hair off. But give me the Quincy this week.
The Quincy.
I'm not used to seeing that 0-4 about that team.
Jake,
Yeah.
is it the Big Cat Classic? Is it the Big Cat Trophy? Is it the Big Cat something? But I'm going to Quincy also. Trophy stays home, like Coach said.
Yeah.
Next up, Kinder Yellow Jackets heading down to winless Jennings. Jennings has been playing a lot of teams close, but they can't get that win.
Right.
Big Cat Classic
Take it,
Trophy. There you
yeah,
go.
There you go.
Jennings cannot get that first win of the season, but they're playing teams close this year. I mean, they played Iowa close, they played Iota close, they played the Ritter close, and then Leesville and Eunice walked away with it. Kinder, trying to figure out which Kinder team are we looking at, Gary? Is this the Kinder team that played Church Point? Or is this the Kinder team that got shut out against Iowa last week?
That's
Jennings
going to be the
almost
big
beat.
question. That's going to be the big question. Which one will show up?
And remember,
Kinder beat a good Rose Pine team. So
Yes.
from just
Which team will show up this week, Coach? How do you explain that as a coach, where you have that style of weeks where you say, man, I don't know which team's going to show up, or what side of the pillow they're going to sleep on.
Right, and that's something that we talked about earlier, that consistency.
Right.
Stringing those games together when you have performances where you can say, at least I know I'm bringing my defense every game, I'm bringing my offense every game. And
Right.
sometimes you have that Jekyll and Hyde team, especially when you're dealing with a younger team. I don't know the direct makeup of their roster. But it usually happens when you have younger teams. You don't know what you're getting from night to night. It gets frustrating, but you're just trying to change that consistency, man. That's the thing that you're looking for.
So who wins this football game, Coach?
Man, I'm gonna go with Kinder. Beating Rose Pine was very
Yeah.
impressive. Like I said, we got to see them guys up close and personal, and beating that as a good football team. So
Okay.
that's a marquee win.
Garrett?
I'm going to go with Kinder.
Holden?
yeah, I'm rolling with Kinder this week.
Gary, that was the first time I picked against Kinder in 3 years last week. Boy, it hurt. But I got it right.
I know, you did get it right.
So this week, I don't know if I could pick against them this week. I think they will go on the road, and I think back-to-back weeks, I think they're itching to get back on the field and get things turned around. You know, things probably have got fixed in the film room, and I think they're itching to get back out there and get that back in the win column. So
I think so too.
give me the Yellow Jackets. Southside Como. Como scored a quarter here?
Nope.
So not even if it's homecoming?
Nope.
Sharks too strong.
Yep. Southside, and I'm not going to say it's close either.
Southside gets their 5th win of the season because Gary said so. Stone Cold said that, all right?
That's right. Stone Cold said that.
All right, here's a football game for you. 1-4 Livonia against 1-4 Beauchamp. It is homecoming night for the Gators. Can Beauchamp rally the troops and find a homecoming win Friday night? I gotta think to myself, Gary, how many more chances does Beauchamp have moving forward?
the thing that I ask is, how healthy is Beauchamp now? I mean, they are so banged up right now that
Coach, one of your
That's
friends
what I'm
is on that coaching staff at Beauchamp.
Yes, sir. That's why, and I'm at the lean toward the Beauchamp. Got a good people I know over there. It's homecoming. I think they get the spirit of the game that comes out of the swamp and helps them get a W.
What is it about homecoming that just, it doesn't matter what your record is going into that night, it's homecoming, we're going to play with a little something extra.
Man, it's like we talked about. High school is sometimes the best part of it. You're developing self. You find out who you are in high school. And one of those things that everybody looks forward to is homecoming and prom.
Right.
So, and those memories there, you never want those to be sour memories.
Right.
It's just something about that homecoming. Man.
you know, I agree with you on that, but man, it's just knowing. I know some people over there, some on the staff, not on staff, but I mean, in you know, administration and everything like that, and teachers over there. And I have a couple students that go over there, and the injury bug has hit them so hard. You know, quarterback, you know, receivers, this, that, and that. Out for, not just tweaks. I mean, out for the year. I mean, ACL, MC, you know, this, that, and the other. How can you come off of that? I hate to say this and I hate to do it, but I'm gonna go with Livonia.
Okay.
I think Livonia's gonna come in probably a little bit healthier and everything like that. It just, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm gonna tell you straight up, Coach, I hope I'm wrong.
Who establishes the run game will be big in
Yeah.
this one.
Right,
So I'll take Livonia on the road. Close one.
yes.
I think it's gonna be a real close dogfight. Hope.
Livonia.
A couple of 1-4 teams battling it out Friday night. Ascension Episcopal, the Blue Gators, taking on 1-4 Catholic and New Iberia. Catholic and New Iberia, big upset win last week as they took down the Eunice Bobcats. That was the shockwaves of the state
That
last
was
week.
the shock of the week,
Gary, they're back at home this week.
right?
Guess what? Not picking against them this week. Give me Catholic and New
I'm
Iberia.
not either. I'm going with New Iberia.
Wow. Make it three.
You know who's the last school to put up points against Vermilion Catholic? Ascension Episcopal.
Well, I picked them 3 times this year. I lost
And they
all
lost
3
all
times.
the times.
The loss you, I mean, look,
They was in a shootout with Patterson. Barely lost to Brew Bridge. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule. Barely lost to Plaquemine.
You get burned by. I'm not doing it no more.
I'm picking Ascension this week.
I'll go by myself.
Ah, man, that hurt me 3 weeks in a
Oh
row.
yeah, I know. I was there with them too.
This next game, 1-4 Ville Platte at 2-2 Mamou. I wrote something down. I said, flip a coin.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really don't know right now. I watched Ville Platte play last week. Have not watched Mamou play this year, but heard they've been competitive in their first few weeks. I don't know, Coach. You tell me what you're thinking with a flip a coin type of game.
Well, funny, I coached in this district last year when I was at Northwest. So I got to see both of these teams up close and personal. Great kids. Love the enthusiasm that our small towns in Louisiana have for their football program. So I'm gonna go with the Green Devils. But give me Mama.
There?
I think this is going to be a tip-for-tat game, but I think Mamou's going to be a little too strong, so I got to go with Mamou.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right. You
But
can do it.
man. I'm going Mamou at home. If this game was in Ville Platte, I guess I would go
Go
Ville
Phil
Platte.
Platt, right?
Yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
one of those.
That's what I said. You got a coin on you?
Flip it.
Alright. Final pick. Give me Mamou.
All right, across the board. How about Opelousas Catholic Vikings taking on the Westminster Christian Academy out of Opelousas? OC battle tested. 2 great football programs came and they played this year, and they had a thrilling loss to Ascension Catholic. So they have played 3 giants here in the first 5 weeks. I think that is the difference of where these programs are right now. OC, they are how can you say that, Coach, when a team just they're all in to win a title? I guess you could say.
Right.
They wanted to put this schedule together to see how far they were away from a state title, and Southern Lab they took them down to the wire. You know what I mean? Like fourth quarter, Lab pulled away.
Correct. And like, I think that's going to be the difference as well. They are the definition of battle tested.
Right.
They have played some stiff competition, and that's what you do. That's as coaches. That's why we schedule those tough tests early in the season to get you ready for district and that playoff run. So I'm gonna go ahead on and take out OC.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
with you.
tell you what, Chris Brown over there at OC, special player, and the way his offensive line blocks for him, the way that quarterback just has that game management type of role, like the Vikings on the road.
Right.
They need to feed him.
Me too. Yeah.
Feed him the ball.
Yeah. Give it to him more. Most definitely.
Oh, you gonna have me? I
Yeah.
picked OC.
All right, OC it is. I tell you what, next week, that matchup next week, holy cow! I can't wait to get down there to that matchup.
Right.
1-4 St. Martinville at 3-2 ERAF. Another team that just keeps on burning me this year, Coach. It is St. Martinville, a team that their record doesn't define their team. It's St. Martinville.
Dude, they are. Look at every game. Dude, they are right. Had a good game with Westgate. Good game with Notre Dame, and it was another one they it was a good game and they lost. Like they're right there, Jordan.
I don't know what Notre Dame blew them out.
It was a ball.
Oh yeah.
But I wrote down, throw the records away, Coach.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead on and take St. Markville. You know, just something about being battle tested. They always have great athletes at St. Markville. Very well coached. Good program. So I'm gonna take St. Markville.
They had a huge second half against Lafayette
That's what it was.
last week, and they
Yeah.
just could not
Finish it.
finish it.
Finish it right.
But they dug themselves in a hole. Look, Chris, that's exactly how I feel. They
Yeah.
burn me every week.
Yeah.
What he said?
He said, St. Martinville burns me every week, but I'm going to pick them again.
Yeah, I'm picking them too. I was thinking about you, Rat, but then I
Here,
said
go
no.
ahead, pick them.
No, I ain't picking
Bobcats are
you.
going to get it done for you.
No, you just want to catch up with my record. That's what it is.
I'm going St. Martinville also on the road. They burned me this time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I ain't picking them again until down the road.
Yeah, that's right.
Hope.
Give me Daville.
All right, Deville across the board. Number 10 on our list here, 3-2 Kaplan at 1-4 Crowley. I said for this one, where was I at? Damn, Gary, I missed one.
Uh-oh. That's all good.
Yeah, I'll skip it.
Yeah.
The
Which one you
capacity show
want? Yeah.
is what I say the last few weeks, and I think it happens again. This guy is leading their area in rushing yards right now.
Right.
This guy is a different beast running that football. I like Capacity. I like Kaplan. Goes on the road and beats Crowley in Crowley. Give me the Pirates.
I agree. Captain Holy.
I'll ride that same train.
Gary, at one point we said this Kaplan team, what is going on with them?
I don't know.
All they've done is reeled off 3 in a row.
Right. They went, you know, they lost, and all of a sudden, boom. And it's like, okay, so I got to stick with them.
I like Kaplan also.
Mindy says Crowley. Oh, my God.
Mindy.
Okay.
Mindy is in the chat.
She's bad. She said
She's the same one that did not pick Lafayette last week.
That's right.
And she lives next door to the
Yeah,
campus.
it's
Huh?
right next to the school.
All right, how about 4-1 Delcom taking on 1-4 Franklin? A lot of people think these records don't mean anything in this one. A lot of people says this game will be a lot closer than what a lot of people think. Here's what I wrote down. Can Franklin shock Delcom at home? That's the big question mark. Delcom playing some really good football this year.
Right.
Franklin, we know how explosive they can be. They got athletes out of this world, Holden. So now you put 2 and 2 together, and Franklin get to do it at home.
I think Delcom's playing too good a ball. I mean, like I said, I'm going with Delcom.
Coach, you like Franklin at home?
I'm gonna take Delton as well. They're playing some good
Okay.
football. I'll take it.
Holden?
Yeah, I really like Delco.
No, they said don't pick them.
Well, I'll tell you what. The only time I picked them was I'm actually 4-1 with them.
Coach, they told us week 1, don't pick us
Don't
again.
pick us. Yeah, they said
Don't
don't
pick
pick
us
us.
again.
Well, we must be giving them good luck.
It was 4 across the board for their opponent.
Yeah,
They won. The other, like Delcom won. They shot us messages left and right. Don't ever pick us again. We're all about superstitions here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it wasn't mean.
Like they were like,
They were joking.
Yeah.
But coach, it's going to be across the board here for Delcom.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I picked them the last. what's that say?
ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week, and can you believe it? Mr. Whips Prince is actually getting us some shirts done
Oh, really? Cool.
for this next topic. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week, Holly's Lock of the Week.
Oh.
And usually it pops up on the screen, it's all fancy, and we don't have no service and signal tonight, so sorry, Miss Holly. Coach, you familiar with the Holly's Lock of the Week?
Yes.
All right.
She
You
picked
waiting on
this
her, you waiting on her to pick Bolton, huh?
You know it.
She's gonna pick them soon. She's gonna pick them down the road for sure. But Holly's Lock of the Week, I know a lot of people is gonna like this one, especially yourself. Holly's Lock of the Week, ladies and gentlemen, goes to
The Opelousas High Tigers.
It goes to the Opelousas High Tigers over New Iberia Senior High. Holly coming into the season with a 4-1 record on locks. So congratulations, off to a 4-1 start. Looking to make it 5-1. Don't let that man tell you that, Colton.
Who?
Don't let Troy talk about you now.
what he said.
Holly picks whoever Fountain Blues playing.
I'll tell you what, Troy, we might be losing, but if you
Go look. We've been very competitive against some playoff teams. And man, Fountain Blue has actually one of the toughest districts in the state. Dude, St. Paul, always in the playoffs. Covington, always in the playoffs. Mandeville was just competing for a state title a few years ago. They're always in the playoffs. North Shore, always in the playoffs. Hammond, aren't they undefeated?
I don't know, Holden. You got the schedules right here.
So,
Coach, who you like?
I'm gonna take the Apples High Fighting Tigers.
Fighting Tigers.
Right.
Holden,
I would just. You know, I'm always just. Told you, I'm not picking against them again.
you will.
Later on, maybe. But not tonight.
no, Troy, I know you messing with me. I'm not mad.
I'm mad at you, Troy. St. James is coming to Lake Charles College Prep, and you ain't even gonna stop and say hello.
Yeah.
Opelousas High across the board. Ladies and gentlemen, your next game.
You can't pick that
Coach cannot pick
Can't
this
pick
one,
that one.
but he can give us keys to victory. Next matchup, it is 2-3 Buckeye versus 2-3 Bolton. Keys to victory for the Bears.
Time of possession, winning the turnover battle, and doing what we do. Staying the course, playing disciplined, consistent football.
Gary, who you like?
I'm going with Bolton. I'm going with this man right here. I've seen what he's done. I got to go with him.
Bolton, you like Buckeye, huh?
the team I'm picking tonight starts with a
B. I'm gonna be real.
I've looked at their schedule, and I'm not impressed. Give me Bolton this week, y'all. Let's go. And I'm not just picking it because you here, Coach.
He is, Coach.
Yeah,
No, I'm not, because I picked against OHS with the coaches here before.
Oh, yeah, you're
He
right.
did. I
So-
got to admit that.
So, trust me.
Bolton Bears have a night, Mr. Jalen Welsh. Another huge night, and I'm talking about headlines next week for him.
Right.
I'm putting it down right now.
Okay.
We should have all picked Buckeye so he can give them bulletin board material. Good luck
As
this
he
week,
would
Coach.
have too.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.
See?
Next up, 2-3 Rain against 2-3 Eunice. I put down line of scrimmage.
Correct.
Both sides of the football. Who wins the line of the scrimmage? Because both teams like to run it right at you.
Right.
So, Rain, Eunice, good old-fashioned football right there. Now we have to make a pick,
Yeah.
even though it sucks to make this pick.
Right. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give Eunice coming off of a loss, and just knowing the ball club. Hey, I'm gonna go with Eunice. I think they're gonna come back fired up.
Yes, sir. Consistent program.
That's one of the toughest. This is one of the toughest picks I had to play.
Both teams have been
Yes.
up and down.
They've been roller coaster all of them.
I'll take the Bobcats in Eunice, Louisiana.
Good pick, Coach. Oh, Gary, what do you got?
I went Eunice.
Okay.
I went Eunice.
Both teams played Church Point,
Yeah.
they gave Avoyles a run, a little bit. Man, coming off of a bad loss last week.
Then you beat it. Give me Eunice at home.
All right, there it is. Give me Eunice across the board, ladies and gentlemen.
I agree, Chris. Chris says, Eunice is like St. Martville. I pick them and they lose. But I'm gonna pick them
I'm
again.
just if Rain was home, I would probably go.
Right, and I think that home field advantage is gonna give it a little edge.
At this point of the season, whenever teams that we're familiar with meet up, it's like, it's
Right.
hard to say because you don't know
I'll
which
say-
way the ball's gonna bounce.
Both of
back.
those teams are both up and down,
Right.
so it's really hard to pick.
Yeah.
So I'll just roll with the home team then.
Next up, another line of scrimmage type of night.
Right.
Oberlin off to a hot start, trying to go win that district title. Last time we saw Oberlin off to a hot start like this, they made a run. Can they get back to that standard? They're going to welcome in East Bow. East Bow, they score a lot of points. They also give up a lot of points. So can Oberlin play a little bit more defense than East Beauregard this week? That's my question mark in this game.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna go with Oberlin. I'm gonna pick them at home.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the home team. They're off to a hot stretch and again, as long as that defense plays a bend but don't break, I think they should be able to outlast East Bow.
Hold it.
Chris says East Bow.
It's not a bad pick.
Nope.
Like I said, East Bow
That one's up in
scores
the air.
scores a lot of points.
Right.
You know, I'm going strictly by just schedule and strength of schedule. I like East Bow this week, yo.
I really do. Mindy does too.
They play tougher competition, and I really like it.
You don't want to win East Bow?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and you went Oberlin. I'm gonna go Oberlin.
I'm gonna go with Oberlin. Setting up a huge matchup with Azil soon, so give me Oberlin.
What's up, Jake?
Cecilia Brobridge. This game was so meaningful a few years back.
Right.
Now it looks like it's a one-sided affair. But can Brobridge keep this one close and spoil Cecilia at the end? That's what I'm looking at here. Or is Cecilia just too good?
I think Cecilia's gonna be too good for Blue Ridge right now. I'm going with Cecilia.
Wrong with Cecilia.
I think it's gonna be decent because it's in Roe Bridge. There's a lot of history there, but I gotta give Cecilia the edge.
Okay. Coach, what you think?
I'm thinking the same thing. Real good football program on both sides, rich tradition and history. But Cecilia is they're on a mission.
What, that week 8 game with them and OHS?
Exactly.
Oh,
That's gonna set up a very interesting matchup in a couple of weeks. And like I said, that'll probably be the district championship.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with Cecilia over Go Blue.
Hold it.
Cecilia.
Cecilia across the board.
Chris, you
Bulldogs.
really going with Blue Ridge? Come on, my brother. That's why you're gonna lose again.
Dang, Chris. But if Brobridge spoils the party, then we look like
Yeah, then we
idiots.
look like dummies.
North Vermilion, St. Thomas More. St. Thomas More, offense too good. That's what I wrote down. I don't think North Vermilion can keep up with them.
Home field and
Cougar Stadium.
offense. Cougar Stadium will be
and
rocking.
offense.
And I'm going St. Thomas more.
St. Thomas more.
It's TM. That's another place I'd encourage people to go and experience a Friday night football game.
Cougar Dodger Stadium.
Tower.
was there.
Stadium.
It rocks.
Yeah, there was some places that it's a special high school experience.
You're right.
A couple of 3-2 teams battling it out this week down there at Lake Arthur. The Piles. Gary, I wrote down the Piles bounced back this week because they're pissed off after losing 2 straight.
I agree. I'm going with Notre Dame. I think them losing 3 in a row, I think Willie Cook would have a heart attack.
Right, that's not something I
Oh
want to
man,
bet
no. Notre Dame. And then I think Lake Arthur's playing better ball this year. But I still think Notre
It's gonna
Dame.
run into a tough district now.
Yeah, I just think Notre Dame is gonna be too much for them.
Yep. Holden?
Notre Dame.
Coach?
on. Notre Dame.
Notre Dame across the board. Next matchup, 3-2 North Central at 3-2 St. Ed's. It is St. Ed's' homecoming night. North Central with all kind of confidence coming into this game. Can that confidence ball over to keep this one close? Or they're just that much separated right now as programs? I mean, you look at North Central, 3 straight wins, the buzz that's going on over there.
Right.
But can they stay for 4 quarters against a St. Ed's football team? If they can, that's going to be something.
I just don't think they can, Jordan.
That running back over there, I think he has a huge night, and I think North Central is going to score. They're going to score a lot of points, but I think St. Ed's that won't be stopped that night. So give me St. Ed's.
Me too. I'm going to say that.
I take St. Ed's and a big night for Kevon Johnson.
Big night.
Big night for
Yeah, St. Ed's.
All right, next matchup, Iota, Northwest. Couple of 3-2 teams meeting in this contest. Here's what I said for this one. Winner of this keeps up intact of that district race. This is a big game for one of these 2 teams. That somebody has to go challenge Church Point for the district title. So somebody is going to be, I wouldn't say eliminated from the race, but they're going to be forward back from the race.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Lose pole position.
Correct. So this is a big game for these 2 programs. Who will go and battle Church Point for that district title? This game is at Northwest. Is that the advantage that the Raiders need, Gary?
Oh, no. Who did Iota lose to?
They lost to Iowa, and they lost to Iowa. They lost to St. Louis and Iowa. Correct.
Almost lost a few more though that it should have.
Yeah.
In previous years, it would have been blowouts.
Yeah. Golly, geez, man, I don't know on this one. This is a hard pick. You got the tradition and everything that Iota's been in. I've been picking Iota pretty well, but they're playing Northwest at home. I'm giving Northwest advantage. I'm gonna go Northwest home field advantage. That's why I'm giving it to them.
Home field advantage for Mr. Swallow.
I'm going Raider Nation.
Raider Nation for
Going
Mr.
Raider Nation.
Bolton himself. Oh,
I like Northwest this week also.
check that out. Northwest. Those 3. Down. Alex, don't take your sponsorship back. Iota on the road.
Hey,
You ain't gonna back me up yet?
there's not a bad pick on that. I think Iota's gonna be tough. I'm giving the edge to Northwest being at home. That's what I think is gonna give them the edge. I think it's gonna be.
Stay clean.
And they gotta stay clean. They gotta stay clean
for
for
4 quarters, and I don't think this is a contest in the end.
Right.
Raiders will walk.
But they, like you said, they just need to stay clean, and they need to not. They just need to not turn that ball over. I mean, when we watched them, man, they were doing great, and then all of a sudden they turned the ball over, and it was just like, oh man, y'all got to stop.
And I don't know what happened last week at Bavard. where
Yeah, I
it
have
was
no
13-8
idea.
going into the fourth
Yeah.
quarter.
I heard a lot
Yeah.
of their starters were resting, but that's just.
Wow.
You resting high
You
school
resting?
football?
Yeah. Well, I guess.
What kind of kid would want to rest whenever there's a football game that night?
I don't know, man.
That's a different mindset
Yeah,
of the generation, right?
I ain't gonna even go there. But gotta go with Norwell.
3-2 Oak Grove, 4-1 Haynesville. Boy, did they battle it out back in the day.
God, Jesus.
These two teams, all too familiar of state championships at their programs. A lot of tradition from these two programs. Oak Grove, Haynesville. You know who's pissed off this week? It's Oak Grove. They let Mangum go in there and dominate them for 4 quarters. Haynesville coming off a big win. Coach got his 200th win of his career. Now, can Oak Grove go into Tornado Alley and knock off Haynesville?
Who Haynesville lost to?
There, it was a one-man band.
I know. I'm trying
Coach
to think.
got the stats.
Hold on. Who Haynesville lost to?
I just look. It's I'll just say one team's battle tested and one team's had an easier road, but I'll show you Haynesville.
Haynesville lost to Glenbrook, which we picked that game. And how did I forget it? Glenbrook, one of those teams that's on our radar.
I mean Haynesville. They beat Junction City, beat Plain Dealing, Harmony Grove, North Webster. They lost to Glenbrook.
Yeah, I'm going with Oak Grove in this one on the road.
Me too. I think I'm gonna do that. That's what I wanted. I wanted to know who they lost to and all that. I just didn't remember.
I think the better football team that night is Oak Grove.
Right.
Yeah, I think Oak Grove wins.
Coach, you thinking differently?
You gotta take Haynesville at
There you
home.
go. I like it. Coach, Coach, I like it.
That's a good. I'll be
You
honest with
look
you.
like-
That's a toss-up. I
You look
think
like
that's
a
good.
genius when you beat us.
Yeah, after you beat this.
I don't know about all of that.
That.
Coach, you know what game
you know my
I
next
don't
one.
think you're going against us with?
Bring this next one.
All I wrote down was Fear to Veer, ladies and gentlemen. Fear to Veer
Yeah, but
is our next pick.
Yeah.
See if anybody knows what that means.
That means look out because they coming through.
they're coming.
Seems like okay, they lost against the LCA the first
You
week,
gave it away good.
and then all of a sudden, yeah, I gave it away. I'm picking it. They lost to LCA, and then all of a sudden, they just like, okay, we're mad now, and they just been killing everybody. So guess what?
Man, you can't say that on air.
They're killing
In
everybody.
football,
Yeah.
they're beating people
They-
in
okay,
football.
they are beating people up in football, but they're killing them. I gotta go Acadiana, man. I'm sorry.
The Veer is overrated. Don't tell them boys over there.
Yeah,
Who said
you're
that?
right.
Okay.
And
Who said the Veer's overrated?
even Mikey
Don't worry
likes
about that.
the Veer.
Mikey and Oakdale loves the beer.
Who said the Bears overrated?
Acadiana, across the board, Fear to Veer. And I don't see a big contest until they meet Southside. That's their next big one.
That's right.
So we'll see. Give me Acadiana.
Right.
Tell you what, Fear the Veer, overrated, has won multiple state titles. Give me Acadiana.
Sure, there you
Yeah.
go. I forgot about John Curtis next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big.
Yeah, they gonna do that.
Not
That's gonna
next
be
week, but I think it's week 8.
Week 8, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so Southside, John Curtis, Karen Crow. The rest of the way
Mhm.
is what I think is some big time matchups.
Yeah,
You have
that's
to
gonna be
keep an eye
crazy.
on.
Most definitely.
That's the SEC East.
You're right.
Westlake, St. Louis meet up this week. Westlake coming off a really bad loss to Lake Charles College Prep. St. Louis coming off of 2 back-to-back really good wins. I wrote down this is. I put Saints go marching in.
You're right.
That's what I wrote
Right.
down. I give you St. Louis
I'm going St.
At
Louis.
home.
Yes.
with a little swag surfing before the kickoff.
Correct.
Jake remembers St. Louis.
Mhm.
I'll second that.
St. Louis. Oh,
Yeah, give me St. Louis. I've been rolling with them all year.
you, they were my sleeper in that district. Northside coming off of an emotional roller coaster of a win. They had players sitting out, and they went down, knocked off Peabody for their homecoming. Huge win for that program that could put those guys in the right direction.
Not this
But
week.
it does not get easy. So when you have a type of win like that, now you have to go face a team that just won 4 of the last 5 state titles. That's something hard to get your guys up for back-to-back weeks.
Right, yeah.
You come off of an emotional win now, okay, here comes the 4-time state champion coming into your house.
And at one time they didn't win state, they were runner-ups.
Runner-up.
Yeah, I mean, so, come on. Oh man, I'm going LCA, sorry.
Yep. LCA.
I just gotta remind you, you said it'd be a down year, but anyway.
This man said week 1, the LCA gonna have to go through a down year this year. 'Cause
I was wrong.
They moved up 2 classifications, lost some good guys to D1 football. Gary said, I own numbers now. LCA now have, they're already working on turbines for next week. There you go. They're gonna get their starters out at halftime. That's what Brady said.
Probably.
I like LCA on the road here. The night train rolls.
Correct.
Picking outside with my heart, but I'm gonna pick LC.
LCA on the paper.
On the paper.
So which one
I'm
you
gonna
want
take
to-
LC.
All right,
Yeah.
coach. All right,
I'm
coach.
gonna take Northside with my heart.
Good friends.
Yeah.
Here's my next game. Jeanerette Hanson Memorial. Hanson Memorial coming in unbeaten, 5-0. Jeanerette 3-2 in a year. I wrote down how good is this Hanson Memorial football team? That's my question mark. How good are they?
I'm not sure who they played. That's the question mark. 'Cause I know Jeanerette's always tough.
How last week?
But yeah.
Braden would know how good this Hanson Memorial football team
Yeah.
is.
How good is Hanson Memorial?
I mean, they're 5-0.
5-0. They're ranked number 3 in the state.
Okay, well I'm going with them.
Damn, Terry.
That's all it took.
Persuasion at its best, huh?
No, I had it picked out already. I was just trying to figure out.
Best win over Delcom, and we're high on that Delcom team this
Yeah.
year. That's a good win.
That's a good one.
That's a really good win.
Yeah.
I got Hanson Memorial at home. They go 6-0.
I'll go with you. I'll go out on that limb with you.
Oh,
I had Hanson also.
next matchup, I put offense versus defense. 5-0 Plaquemine at 4-1 Bruley. Offense versus defense, coach. Who wins this one?
I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go with play.
Did I offense?
I'm gonna go with the offense. They can score in bunches and they execute very well. So I'm gonna go with play.
I'm with you. I'm gonna go Plaquemine also.
Yeah, I like Blackman. I
Let me
watch.
look at that schedule. 0-6.
No, that's another game. I'm way past that.
Okay.
I like Blackman's schedule.
Well, where you gonna show me?
Nope.
All right. I was going Bruley all day because of that defense. So I'm going to go with Plaquemine because Holden said so. Holden said, don't do it. I called him up on Friday night and say, Bruley won, Holden. And he owes me a
I mean,
cheeseburger.
Braden Wilson agrees with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plaquemine do this every year. Yes, they do. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week whenever we pick Troy's game of the week. Troy's game of the week. Well, that's a trend. St. James, 4-1, heading down to 3-2. Lake Charles College Prep. You talk about playoff football right here in week 6. You got it. You got athletes versus athletes, good coaches versus good coaches, and you got probably some high-scoring offense fixing to happen in this one. Now's the question mark. St. James, big win last week against Woodlawn. Lake Charles College Prep, big shutout win over Westlake last week. Both teams coming off big wins. Who gets the biggest win on Friday night?
St. James in the over.
St. James in the over, Coach said.
Man, I gotta go with Prep. That's just, I think that's just something about Prep that's,
You like
you know,
Prep?
I like Prep. I always have.
Holden, who you like?
What game was big
This mother trucker.
I'm ahead of y'all. What y'all pick?
St. Charles.
Oh, I
mean,
picked St.
St. James.
I shouldn't pick him
They
because of
charge
Troy,
us for Prep.
but I picked.
I should pick him because of Troy.
I picked St. James. Hold on, I don't want Troy to hear.
Yeah, I'm St. James, because Troy looking over my shoulder. Okay. St. James also goes into Prep. Very impressed with what they did last week. I'm going to roll with them this week.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pick them, please, Troy said. Troy, I got to pick them this week. But Gary's out on the limb saying Prep.
I think Prep's gonna.
Gary's trying to give OHS PowerPoints.
That's right. I want to keep OHS at number 1.
Next matchup live on Cox Television, on your view, on social media platforms. Coach, defense versus defense.
Yeah, how about this?
3-2 versus 4-1. Here is where we find out how good Abbeville football is this year, Gary.
Right, yeah. This is gonna be the game, and I think they're gonna be up for it.
Gary, they're going to get up for it, that's for sure. Which offense does something special to win this football game? Because you know both defenses are going to play lights out.
That's the $1 million question. Which offense will be successful? You know, which one will take advantage of it?
Abbeville's going to feel like that
Oh,
semifinal
God,
game
yeah.
whenever it was packed.
Right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Abbeville's gonna get up. They're gonna have the crowd into it. I think it's gonna be awesome. St. Charles is gonna come in there trying to burst their bubble and everything like that. But I'm gonna give the edge to Abbeville.
Coach, tough pick.
Tough pick. I think St. Charles will be the one that established their offensive rhythm just a little bit better than Abbeville will. So I'll roll with St. Charles.
So they make the big play that
They
night.
made the
Right.
big.
Holden,
Oh yeah, I'm impressed with their schedule, St. Charles.
Gary,
I'm sorry. Hey, you might catch up.
Gary, I like St. Charles on the road. I think this is a damn good football fight for 4 quarters. St. Charles at the end, I think, squeaks one out.
Could be.
Winding down here, sorry to the panel for keeping y'all all nights at the hour. Some people gotta work tomorrow.
I know.
5-0 Catholic Appointed P kicks off district against 4-1 Sacred Hearts. I wrote down for this one what I've been saying all year. And nobody wants to play Catholic Appointed P right now.
Nope.
Because of how good they are right now. Sacred Heart coming off a bad loss to a winless Caldwell Parish team. Now they have to regroup. Coach, when you have a bad loss, okay, how long does it take to get your staff together, to get your players back on board and say, okay, that's in the past, let's shift gears and go put a game plan together and go win at home next week?
Right.
How long does that sit in for those players and those coaches where we went and lost a bad loss?
You know, I tell my guys, you can't play it over with. You can't play it again. So the best thing that we can do is learn from the mistakes and get back to the grind. It was a hurt and win loss last week for Sacred Heart. So I know the coach is preaching fundamentals, trying to move forward and focus on the task at hand. But I'm gonna go with Catholic Appointed P because they're a darn good football team.
Yeah, they're clicking on all cylinders. I gotta agree with that. Point to be.
Oh?
Point of P.
Yeah, Parker P across the board. Love what Vinny's doing over there. They play that brand of football where you just respect so much.
Yeah.
You ain't been no joke.
Next up, 4-1 Rose Pine. A date with 4-1 Logan Sport. You talk about somebody that can put on a atmosphere it is Logan Sport, and they back it up with a damn good football team also. Rose Pond with Cody going in over there and trying to knock off the Tigers. Can they do it? It's going to feel like a semifinal atmosphere when these two teams meet on Friday night.
Sure will. That's two very good football programs, great athletes, great coaching staffs on both sides. But I've seen Rose Pine face to face. I'm gonna go with them. They can control the clock, and they have the athletes to make explosive plays when needed. So I'm gonna go with Rose Pine.
Coach, good pick. Gary?
Man, this one, I would be right and flip a coin. I don't know. I think I'm gonna just go home field, Logan Sport.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be that close.
Yeah, you speaking of Neil Morton was the one that reached out to us to go down to Logan Sport and
Right.
interview the coach
Right.
and the players over there.
Right.
Oh yeah, I think I'm impressed by Logan Sports schedule. I think Logan Sport takes it by at least 2 touchdowns.
I sure know that place is going to be rocking Friday night. Give me Logan Sport.
Mm-hmm.
Valdelia, and not the song, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Start singing on me.
I did.
Yeah.
4-1 Valdelia at 4-1 Mangum. Coach, is Jalen Williams playing Friday night?
Yes.
Mangum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of
yeah, yeah.
kids that get. But
He's having a great season. They have some good football players. But I'm gonna go with Mr. Williams and Manning.
Valdelia coming off an upset loss last week to Faraday. Now they have to regroup and go down to Mangum. Boy, that's not an easy task when you got to
Right.
stop somebody that's averaging 6 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jesus. Good luck with that.
Unless Williams forgets his uniform at home, Mangum by 30. That's what Braden said.
No, then he's gonna take a freshman's uniform and put it on. I don't know. Give me that uniform.
You got it? You got Mangum?
I got Mangum by a lot.
I'm ready to see what his stats look like afterwards.
Right.
Next matchup, how about 4-1 Bogalusa at 4-1 A Meat? Here's what I put down. You got a young A Meat football team this year taking on a Bogalusa football team. Their only loss this year came to Slidell.
God, I still maybe it's at home.
That's where I'm
going
You're drawing a blank over there?
I take the home team.
I'm going Amy.
I'm gonna go home team only because they're the home
Yeah.
team. They've
Home?
been flipped up. I take
Me.
Holmes A Meat. I'm going Bogalusa, ladies and gentlemen. On the road, takes down A Meat.
Well, you got some good picks here, man. That's hard.
Well,
You did good this week.
somebody got to put all this together.
Yeah. Hey, you did good this week.
Somebody got to run the show.
Dang, man.
Next up, I got 4-1 Franklin Parish at 4-1 Grant. Like I said, we got a lot of new faces joining this list of games this
Right.
week. Damn, Troy, let me have a little leanery that right there. We go with Bogalusa. Trying to get over on Garrett.
He's just trying to catch up. That's what it is.
Here's what I wrote down for both teams, so maybe this will help out y'all. Y'all familiar with both teams?
No, not really.
Coach?
I'm familiar with
Okay, here's what I wrote down. Grant averaging 42 points a game, only giving up 14. Franklin Parish averaging 26 points a game, only and giving up 19. Tougher schedule goes to Franklin Parish. Does those numbers help?
I'm gonna go with Grant. I've seen Grant play. They're gonna do what they do. They're very well coached. They're gonna run the football right at you. They're not gonna do anything pretty.
There you go, Lauren.
Yeah, and they're gonna run. They have a tough, very good running back. So I'm gonna go with Grant.
Me too. I was leaning towards them, and I just didn't know anything about Franklin Parish, but yeah.
Give me Franklin Parish on the road.
They scored 20 on Union Parish. I like Grant at home.
There goes our guru. What he said about A-Meat?
Meat struggling against pass right now.
Boogaloo, we aired out all day. Quarterback.
At least number of attempts in a game this year has been 32.
Hello? All right.
We'll see.
Yeah, so Franklin Parish for myself, the rest of the field, Grants. Back-to-back games, y'all let me go by myself. What's going on here?
I don't know.
All right,
You
that's,
must know something we don't know, huh?
I just gave you some stats. That's about the best I can do. Next up, how about 4-1 Hammond against 4-1 Slidell?
Another good game.
Hammond.
Look at that, two teams that's
Infound Blues District,
Here-
Troy.
Here we go, Troy.
There we go.
Don't wind up the band, Troy.
All right, getting him.
He done woke up his second win. Hammond beat A-Meat this year, averaging 32 points per game, giving up 20. Slidell, close loss to Jesuit 16-13, averaging 24 points this year and only giving up 10. Does that help anything? Holden has mentioned Fountain Blue 11 times so far tonight. That's what the guru said.
Yeah.
That's because Troy.
I'm gonna go with Coach Buckles down at Hammond.
Tornadoes.
The Tornadoes.
I'm going to slide down.
Slidell for Gary. Oh,
going with the Dirty Dale.
who the hell is that?
Slidell.
Oh,
That's what we call it.
I'm going Slidell myself, Mr. Dortez.
What they did against Central and St. Paul's.
Troy said they lost all 11 times you mentioned them.
What they did against Central and St. Paul's.
And then a close loss to Jesuit.
Slide.
16-13.
Slide. A lot of people don't know, but Slidell back in the day, Troy might know. He's old. I mean,
I mean,
My bad.
he's,
He that was a good team. They had Matt Forte at running back in the gap. That was a really good football program. It looks like they're starting to turn around. See, look, Troy, you know.
next matchup, man, I did not want to pick this one tonight.
I didn't want to either.
4-1 Avoyles at 3-1 Oakdale. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Oakdale missed the game at the beginning of the
Right.
year.
Oh, man, Mikey, I'm sorry, but I can't.
Here's what I said, Gary.
You're making this hard on me.
Physical football game. It's going to be done by 8:30 p.m.
Oh, yeah. Quick.
Time of possession is key, and who wins the turnover battle will decide this one.
I want to know what's the quickest football game played. Like, what's the fastest time? Because this actually might beat that.
How about this? This actually,
Yeah.
this might be the
This might be the record.
This
right
game-
here.
Somebody get the ice fast ready after this one.
this
God.
game, yo, this game will not make it to 8:30.
I don't think so.
Keep the cards running.
Yeah.
Unless it's homecoming night and they have an extended halftime.
Yeah. Man, as much as I don't want to do this,
Chris said it right. Have the hands team ready.
Oh, yeah.
Team ready.
I've got to give the edge to Boyles. I'm sorry, Mikey. I know you're going to have a game
First time
plan.
picking against them
That's
this
the
year.
first time I'm picking against you this year. I think of Boyles with that freaky offense that they have and their philosophy is gonna just
There he is.
bring them go, make it
If
happen.
Oakdale wins,
I'll
It's a
buy Mikey a beer
it's a good thing.
or whatever he drinks.
It's a good thing that there's no recap show for you Friday night.
You're right. That's why, because boy, I would be in trouble.
Curtis played O. Perry Walker back in the day in a game that ended at 8:21 p.m. in the late night.
Wow.
How does he just know this off the bat? I'm telling you, works fairly.
This has been our guru all season,
He is the
and
man.
last year,
He's the man that knows
no
everything.
profile picture. So he's going under another profile. We don't know who he is,
But he knows
but
everything.
he knows
Everything.
he spits out facts every week.
Wow.
Well, it's gonna be close with the game times between these two teams.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, between that, oh man.
If you want to be a guest for Week 7 Pick'em show, I'll leave you a chair open. And we'll see if you show up to the door.
Brady. Yeah, Brady. That's for Brady.
I'll send you money to come. I just want to see who you are.
Yeah.
You got Twitter? Follow me on Twitter.
Winter Avoyles for everybody, huh?
I'm going to Boyles.
The better question
Is the over under 5.5 passes in this game?
Good, though.
Oakdale might
I think
throw a
so,
pass.
Coach.
I doubt if a Vols throws a
Coach,
pass.
no, I think so because
They've thrown. I've seen them throw two or three.
If this game, if this is 4th and 24, they're gonna throw it. That may be one of your 5 passes. Because they're not putting.
Man,
They ain't putting. No, they gonna.
They did throw a
Well, they
touchdown.
did throw a touchdown pass at
To
the
LCA.
watch. You know.
Okay, okay. So,
They did. It was a.
I want to know what's going to be the
Bootlegs at
combined
tight ends.
passing attempt.
Well, when we watched them last year, they had a couple passes.
Gary,
Yeah.
they played 7-on-7 this year with that offense.
Sure did. With all the emotions.
Yeah, they played 7-on-7 this summer with that offense.
Whatever. I don't know. I'm still saying of Vols, and I think it's gonna be a close, tight ball game. but I
Somebody's
think
gonna
in the
get
end-
beat up front.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a whole. Oh God, it's gonna be crazy.
I said a Vols too.
Boys across the board. Next matchup, 4-1 E.D. White at 4-1 Patterson. Patterson, quarterback leads the state in passing. Receiver leads the state in receiving. Does E.D. White have anybody that can slow down that tandem? I think they do. I think E.D. White can go on the road and win this football game. We looked at E.D. White last year. Great defense. What stops a good offense? A good defense, right? I think they have enough. I think they have enough to slow them down a little bit. They're not gonna slow them down completely, but they're gonna get theirs. But E.D. White on the road for me.
I'm going Patterson. I think it home field advantage. Plus, you got the best passer and the best receiver in the state.
That's why I'm leading to. The only thing that beats great coverage is a great throw.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with Patterson at home.
Yeah, I like E.D. White also, Jordan.
Finally, like The Rock says, Holden has picked with me. How about the Crow? 4-1. How about the Lions of Lafayette? 4-1. Very impressed with Lafayette's win last week. Only loss this year came to that Fear to Veer team itself.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. This is a tough one to pick.
Karen Crow, we looked at them a couple weeks back against Southside, and I found out Southside not running that same offense anymore, Gary. They're in the spread. Is Crow's secondary suspect? That's the question mark.
Karen Crow played Ash this year. Very physical ball player. They're big, they're fast, they're strong, and the most important, they do what they do.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with Karen Crow in this matchup on the road.
Me too. I think it's gonna be the Crow.
I really like Karen Crow. One's
So-
already picked the Lions.
Sorry, Mindy.
Yeah, I'm going with Crow also.
Are you going with the Lions? Who do you?
I think Lafayette's off to a red hot start.
Yeah.
But I think Karen Crow might just keep the ball away from him a little bit longer in this one.
Right.
And we'll see.
Crow.
4-1 Rummel against 4-1 John Curtis. We're back to that Fear to Veer.
Back to it.
This is what I just wrote down, a gut pick. I just wrote down, everybody pick what your gut in this one. Rummel's only loss this year came to.
Was it Scotlandville? Let me see.
John Curtis has only lost this year, Coach.
Rummel's only lost this year. I was just looking at it too.
Don't worry, Brady's gonna beat us.
Was the Scotlandville about one?
And John Curtis playing some good football. Only have
Lost to John to Carr, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they lost to Zachary 40-21.
Exactly.
not a bad loss.
And you can say their highlight win was Oak Grove.
Out of Mississippi.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll Curtis at home.
I'm going with Curtis myself.
It's a hard game to pick.
Yes, it is. But I'll go with JC.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, give me. I haven't, sir. Give me John Curtis.
won't be surprised if Rummel can pull this one off though.
Yeah, it won't be a shock.
It won't be a shock, but it's thinking
leaning
with what we
towards
got, I got
Curtis a lot.
Yeah.
Look, Braden said JC should have this easy.
All right, Coach. Final game of the night. This is what I wrote down. This is a prove me game. This is a prove me type of game. Gary, what is your famous statement that you use every week?
Really?
No.
No, besides that, to be the champ, you got to beat the champ.
And do they have a shot this week, ladies and gentlemen? Turlins, 5-0. Westgate, 5-0. If you want to be the champs, you got to go through the champs. That's a huge statement that lives on every football season. Westgate, we know how
At Westgate.
high-powered offense they are. Turlins, we know how good their offense is. Is this a break the scoreboard type of night?
Yes.
This definitely could be high-powered offense. We talk about this could be the Vols game, could be the shortest game. This could be the longest game with all the points
Yeah.
scored.
And you see why I bring you on for these type of nights?
Right.
Because of statements like that.
Yeah.
So I'll take Wesley. Funny thing, you talk about Turtles to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. They're gonna have to try to beat 3 different champs just in there.
Just in there, just in
with
there.
this team.
I mean, they'll see it. So.
And Turner's got to go to Westgate.
That's
That's what I'm
the
saying.
deciding factor.
That's what killed it for me.
Going into
Wesley.
I think Westgate's going to win at home. If this would be at Turlings, I think it'd be a totally different thing. But I'm
Coach,
going
if
Westgate.
Turlings wins this football game, you can pretty much say, okay, we know you got STM coming up, and we know you got LCA coming up, but if you go knock off Westgate, then you might have a chance to
You got a
go run for this title.
That's a heck of a confidence boost right there. Going onto the on the road into hostile confines, because that's another great atmosphere when you go into Westgate to watch a football game. That's another great atmosphere. And you go in there and get a W, that says a lot about yourself.
Coach, can they do it?
They
They
can.
can.
They can. Because
What-
they're a darn good football program.
They
Best
have,
best team in recent years.
Yeah.
but they're going to have to play the best game they played this year. They're going to have to be clean, and they're going to just have to be, I hate to say it, play possessed football.
They're going to have to almost
You talk
it's
about-
a perfect game. But
Going into this one with confidence is key because they're 5-0 for a reason, and I don't think they're going in there saying, "Hey, that's Westgate." I think they're going in there saying, "Hey, we're a good football team too."
Right.
The scariest part about it is Westgate won state title last year, and it doesn't look like they had any problem.
Right.
And
That's
they're playing championship football from out the gate. So
That's
I'm
the key.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards this.
Friday night, if Turlings wins this football game, Lafayette's gonna be crazy.
You're right.
Oh,
Y'all
come on now!
Listen.
I know you like the Rebels.
listen. Y'all talking about high scoring?
It's a prove me
The
game.
defense is actually good.
Yeah,
They held to Boston
might be the
12.
best team they played this year.
I mean, it probably is, but I'm saying they've held up Oils for 12 points, Notre Dame 14 points, and like Braden said, this is the best team they've had in recent years. I've picked them every game since week 1, and I'm picking them this week again.
All right, baby, there we go. So we won't all get booed on if they win.
Okay.
Holden says the Rebels on the road takes down the Tigers. I just want to see the Tigers wear white at home. Did you see those white out uniforms with the white helmets
Yes, I sure did.
that they wore down there for the Jamboree? I want to see them wear this on Friday night. I don't know if that's legal to wear in high school football for home games. James, what you think?
As long as the visiting team wears darker jerseys, don't have a problem with it, you wear white at home.
There you go. Westgate at home. Great contest to end this
Right.
picks tonight.
That was one of the best. That's going to be one of the best games of the weekend too. They're gonna have they got a lot of good
And
games.
keeping
this
a
weekend.
close eye out on that one for sure on Friday night. As we close the door on week 6, Coach, give us your final thoughts on week 6 as we go into it.
Man, a lot of great football, a lot of key matchups. This is gonna set the tone for a lot of people's season. Everybody jockeying for playoff positioning. So we're setting ourselves up for some great football down the stretch. And start with week 6. Again, you talk about matchups of Rommel and Curtis, Turner and Westgate. You're talking about key matchups and people that are going to be playing for state championships when it's all said and done.
Right.
So we're in for a great weekend football.
Aaron, final thoughts.
Man, I'm just, the positioning keeps shuffling every week. And, you know, I can't wait to see, you know, towards the end. But man, you got some great games happening this week. I think it's gonna be a lot of, there's gonna probably be some upsets. But I mean, man, these games, even though we picked them, one, it's not really an upset if the other one wins, you know, because I mean they're that close. But you talking about some marquee matchups this week in here. So great job.
Yeah, the district races start moving forward this
Right.
week. A lot of
Right.
teams still ain't got into district, which is nuts. But a lot of teams moving forward will start separating themselves in that district race. A lot of teams you start to see, all right, who's our boss? Who has a shot to have a first round bye?
Right.
You have those teams battling it out for that now, which is new. A lot of new factors into this brand new playoff system. I'm excited to see great matchups this year in the playoffs. So before we get to the playoffs, Gary, we got 4 more fine weeks of football.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy, and it's getting better and better.
So good luck to our locals this week. Best of luck, everybody. Enjoy your senior year to those seniors out there.
Right.
You never know when you're playing your life down.
Right.
So, Holden, final thoughts.
Just another week.
Another week, he said. Coach, we wish you the best of luck Friday night. Tell the entire coaching staff and the players that we send our love from Under the Lights.
Oh, we appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up week 6 of high school football here with the Under the Lights crew. Keith checked out early. The system was not working. So good night to Keith back in Port Barry. Dakota down there at his place, probably at her place, and Jake down there at his place. That is your crew, followed with these 3 guys. Am I missing anybody? So we will say goodnight for now, and we will see you tomorrow night from Hamilton Christian when we cover Basil Bearcats and the Hamilton Christian Warriors. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you soon. You missed the old days where it just clicks off itself.